3, 2, hello, one and all. Welcome back to what I believe to be a Thursday night.
Calling it that.
Yeah, we're calling it that. Sometimes I do get the days right. Let's see. We've been trucking through Steins Gate. If you've been watching along and seeing where we're at, we are in the home stretch. Admittedly so, there was not a lot of new information revealed last time. We covered a lot of old ground again, basically because the way the route split off. We went down what I guess like the B road of the route, where the earliest on that you can make a split, we made the split, and then from that split we did like 3 different routes, and then we went back to that very early on split and are going to the other route now. So a lot of old information that we already have is kind of being revealed to us again from a different kind of angle. We talked about how it looked like the route we were going on seemed like the starter route, the way it was presented.
Right.
But
Certain bits of it anyway. It
yeah,
definitely feels like it's the first time we interacted with like the reading Stein, or like he responds to reading Steiner
yeah,
this time around, and it doesn't seem like yeah, like that it wasn't that big of a deal when it had happened in the past. I think that's the one I remember for
yeah.
sure. But
Uh,
otherwise though, it's kind of there were some of the stuff that it was more glancing by things that we learned in depth
yeah,
from the
yeah.
other runs. So it hasn't felt like we've been completely retreading this
Right.
necessarily.
The biggest shift, what caused the big shift here, was the fact that we answered the call. We left our phone on after talking to Kurisu for the first time for the time at the shrine, which allowed well, one, it allowed the D mail to come through, or the D Ryan to come through, but also because we left the phone on, we didn't get distracted and went to dinner with Maho and the professor. Which in this route, instead of having a New Year's Eve party, we have a Christmas party because one simple change we made. But
There
at
was a plan for a Christmas party before, too.
right, it
I'm trying
was.
to remember why we didn't do that last time, or like what happened. I guess it must have been that whatever we were doing uh, with this got all caught up. I'm not sure. Like, were we just like did we when we went to the meeting? Did we just like get caught up in that? I don't know if you remember. It
I don't
doesn't
remember off the top of my
particularly
head.
matter.
Uh,
Okay,
but because of that
the
one
point
simple
if you don't.
change, some things have changed. Most notably, at the end of we learned a few new things that we learned. We saw that Kagri had pointed a gun at Suzuha when they went back to the past. She's like, "You're not changing the future." Yada yada yada. We don't get a whole lot of
He
information
like
on that
left
yet.
on purpose. It wasn't like she got lost.
Yeah,
She
right.
like ran away.
Yeah. And let's see the other thing is we had the Christmas party, and then that song played, and then oh no, Reed and Steiner. The last thing we saw before ending that chapter was Fabuki also collapsing to the ground. That is where we're
Is that
going.
right? Oh, I didn't remember that. Okay.
All right, let's go to Pandora's box, baby. For the first time in almost 4 months, I felt like the whole world was twisting. Who was it? Who had changed the world line? I didn't do anything. I hadn't interfered with the world. But why was the world doing this to me?
For real though. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we stopped off in the future for a bit, right? Didn't that happen
Uh,
last time?
not last
Oh, that was
time.
the time before
Yeah, yeah,
last.
yeah.
Okay, I just saw this frame and I was like, oh yeah, the apocalyptic future interlude.
I I opened my eyes. Things had already taken on different colors. The world kept wavering until once again it became fixed to a point in time. I wasn't looking at a warm, cheerful party in the lab anymore. It was outside, raining. The rain was falling on my face in drops so large that it hurt. It was a midwinter rain. It was freezing cold, and I could feel it sapping the strength of my body. My view stopped twisting. I was staring at a broad back of a man I didn't know. I could hear the sound of many boots stamping through the mud, mingling with the falling rain. The stench was terrible. The smell of sewage was so strong it hurt to breathe, and it was mixed with the awful smell of burning rubber and plastic. Where was I? What was I doing right now? Things around me had changed so much. I tried to understand the situation I was in, but my brain was having an awful time keeping up.
We're almost there. Hang in there.
When I stopped, a rough hand patted me on the shoulder encouragingly. I looked around to see a man my age with a strong, powerful face. A face I'd never seen. I didn't know him, probably. The man was wearing the camo outfit and equipment I'd often seen in self-defense force wear in the news. He was carrying an assault rifle. There were 7 or 8 people around me, all dressed the same. They surrounded me in a circular formation and walked forward silently as they kept a careful eye on the area. Are these people the self-defense force? Then I realized I was wearing the same camo uniform they were.
Oh, that's not good.
I'm in the SDF too? I touched my bicep to check, but there was no muscle. It was flabby and weak. Unlike the others, I wasn't carrying any weapons. What the heck was going on here? It felt like these 7 or 8 tough-looking SDF guys were all guarding me.
Yeah.
Since when was I?
Daniel Jackson.
Yeah.
This, Stargate operation.
When was I that important? Still confused, I dragged myself onward. Where was I, anyway? It was a long path filled with dark brown mud. Walls formed a tall silhouette to the left and right. The path was filled with garbage and concrete rubble, and sometimes we had to force our way past it. I looked up past a high wall. Despite the rain, the moon and the night sky was strangely red and a little too bright. It was thanks to the moon that we were able to walk down a path like this. Huh? Sound. I heard a sound. It was the sound of water. I looked over and saw a hole open in one of the walls. Filthy water was pouring out. The water formed dozens of little rivers that blocked our path. But that was it. This was the bottom of a river that had dried up. What looked like high walls were the river dikes. Where are we? I turned towards the man who had spoken to me a bit ago and yelled so that my voice could be heard over the rain.
Don't make any loud noises.
Oh, sorry.
Almost through the city center. We can make it to Marina Garrison. There'll be a car waiting for you. So just keep walking. Bang!
Yeah, that sounds right. But his words cut off there. Everyone seemed more tense than ever. One of them grabbed me and pushed me towards the side of the riverbed. Everybody put their backs against the wall and held their breath. I could hear the sound of a helicopter's rotors. No, more than just one.
Say
Closer.
You can hear it. It's
yeah. Right? Yeah. I had no idea what was going on.
Close, I guess.
I had no idea what was going on, but I could feel my heart start to beat faster.
Get in the shadows of that car.
Past several meters of rubble and overturned. It must have fallen into the riverbed after the water had disappeared. The entire body was bent inward and the roof was completely crushed. I lay down in the stinking mud and slid into the shadows of the car. At the same time, the SDF soldiers were issuing each other orders as if this was something they planned for already. 2 of them stayed by my side and everyone else ran back the way we came. They all climbed up crevices and outcroppings on the wall and then disappeared over the edge of the dike and out of shortly after. Those were gunshots. And not just a single shot from a handgun or anything like that. This was the sound of war. I could hear the helicopters getting further away, drawn by the gunfire. Oh no. This world line was Japan War? Third World War. I remembered Suzuha's words. I happened to look inside the crushed car. I could see the corpses of a man, a woman, and a small child hanging upside down, still attached to their seatbelts. They were all covered in dried black blood. They looked like mannequins at a bad haunted house. And then I realized I'd been so focused on moving forward that I hadn't noticed what they were, but I'd seen similar mannequins sunk into the mud. I could see their arms, the bones and ragged muscle exposed to the air, reaching up to the skies as seeking salvation. I put my hand over my mouth to stifle a scream. Those weren't mannequins.
Now, get along the side of the wall and move.
Huh?
We're changing the route. Come on, stand up.
He pulled me up. My knees were shaking from shock and exhaustion.
The others are drawing away the Soviet helicopter. That won't last long. Hurry!
Soviet helicopters? My mind was dulled from the terror, but it seemed like there was something off about what he just said.
Get a hold of yourself. Do you know how many people have died to protect you?
Protect me? Why?
We haven't been told why, but we're told to lay down our lives for you if we had to, and that you could change this country's future.
A helicopter passed over the riverbed. The bright searchlight passed by for a moment, but thankfully the shadow of the dike hit us.
This way. Oh, God, that would be such a shitty way to wake up.
Yeah, no shit. The young SDF soldier, whose name I didn't even know, pulled me inside one of the holes in the concrete. When I looked closely, I could see the entrance sewer. It was just big enough for a single person to pass. Struggling against the flow of water that came up to my knees, I pressed on through the darkness. My sense of smell had already gone numb, so I didn't have to worry about the stench of the sewage. Once inside, we came to several branching paths. The SDF soldiers seemed to know which one would lead where, and they marched on without hesitation. And then, we came out of the sewer and back into a riverbed. Dried up, just like the one we'd been through. I didn't know if it was the same river or another one, and the two soldiers didn't tell me. Either way, I was glad to finally be out of the foul-smelling darkness, and tried to take a deep breath and fill my lungs. But halfway through, I realized that the riverbed smelled even worse than the sewer. I took an involuntary step back and then another. The sight in front of me was just that terrible. What was once a riverbed was now filled with bodies. Some of them had been burnt totally black, so it was impossible to tell how much. And in the distance, I could see what looked like a bonfire. They were burning despite the rain. The fires were consuming the mountains of flesh that once were human bodies.
We're almost there. I know it's rough, but can you run?
Yeah. The SDF soldier spoke to me, and then I came back to myself. If it weren't for these two, I wouldn't have been able to. We ran to the riverbed, one of them in front of me, the other behind. I could hear the constant drone of the helicopters above me. Sometimes the searchlights got very close. Each time they did, I hid in the piles of bodies. And I'd seen this many times before as I wandered through the world lines. I'd seen the moments when people had died. But at the same time, I'd never experienced what happened to a dead person after they were left out for a long time. More than fear, more than sorrow, the thing that hit me first was the rotting stench ate away at my body. My whole body was rejecting it. It made me feel. Thinking that way meant trampling on the dignity of the dead, but I couldn't help it. I remembered that phrase. That was what that strange attacker had said that night. It came after Dr. Leskinen. It's better for you to enter life with one eye than to have two eyes thrown into the valley of Tom.
That must be this.
That valley was the origin of the word Gehenna,
Yeah.
meaning hell. It was said that the flames burned there every night, scorching the. Those who died merciless deaths with anger or misery in their hearts were flung into the flames, their souls becoming black smoke that rained hatred down on the land. What I stared at now was Gehenna.
Did not expect a Okabe found God.
Two soldiers
Not
led
on my bingo card.
the two soldiers led me to a half-collapsed subway tunnel. The lights were all off because there was no electricity, but 3 armored cars in camo colors with their headlights on to illuminate. They were 4-wheel drive, off-road vehicles covered in thick chunks of armor, but I didn't see any real weapons.
You can take the subway route to escape to Saitama. I hear it's still safe at Iruma Base. If you can get that far, you should be able to escape Kanto. Ask them about it. For now, just hurry.
There were a lot of things I wanted to ask. Even as we spoke, I heard what sounded like gunshots outside. The men forced me into the back seat of one of the cars.
My mission brief said nothing about explaining bullshit that
Right?
you should already understand.
Yeah.
Goodbye. I'll be praying for your safety.
What? What about you guys?
We have another mission to carry out. Farewell.
The two soldiers who had brought me here saluted, then turned around and left the station. Felt like I was never going to. The door to the armored car slammed shut with a heavy thud. The car's crew were SDF soldiers, just a little older than. The diesel engine kicked to life and the car raced down a tunnel that had originally been designed for trains. Of course, it wasn't a pleasant ride at all, but I didn't have any choice. There was no way I could tell them that I wanted to go to Akihabara. I had no way to alter the world line. I had to survive in this hellish world. And to survive, I needed to do what they said. My wants didn't matter at all. I wasn't even allowed to express them. Just did as they told. Just did as they told me. That's a weird way of saying it. I just did as they told me and ran. Okay. It was all I could do. But I had no idea that it would take an entire month.
Oh my god.
The story so far, the USSR started experimenting with a time machine and America goes apeshit. Give me that time machine, but I refuse. Eastern powers and Soviets get cocky. How's it feel to be you right now, huh? How's it feel? This brings us to the end of your regularly scheduled Cold War. I'm a bomb you from Japan, lol. Well, then we'll invade Japan. Oh, shit. Just the U.S. right now. USSR is kicking ass. Hokkaido and Northeast Japan are screwed. They're coming for Central Japan now. People in Nagoya, get the fuck out. Amateurs who know nothing about strategy need to shut the fuck up. Yes. But they've actually got a defense line at Mount Fuji. They're about to start a counterattack. Oh, this is the Mount Fuji line, LMAO. Who the hell is dumb enough to believe Japan Imperial High Command? Raffle. You better not start hearing calls for a kamikaze pilot soon. Shut up, noob. It's like you're the real threat, Japan. Wait, what the hell happened to the collective right of self-defense? America's only interested in protecting Okinawa. What the hell is the SDF going to doing getting sent off to Siberia? How are they supposed to protect the country? You protect it. You protect it. What's that?
I was gonna say, obviously, there's something important in Siberia.
Yeah.
That's like part of the defense effort.
Yeah.
Yes.
You protect it, Chicken Hawk. You want to fight? Go volunteer. They said they aren't getting enough recruits. Are they going to start conscription soon, you think? What's the point of conscripting a bunch of fat otaku? They just get in the way.
Hey.
War these days require professional soldiers. Says the fat otaku who doesn't want to go to war.
I mean,
there are barely any professional soldiers left in Japan. Our masters in America sent them around the globe and stuck them there. You guys will probably be getting your conscription notices soon. Good luck. I'm a chick, so I don't care. In other words, if we get a sex change, we don't have to go, right? Oh, this thing's like a straight up out of Reddit. Like a real
America.
The real enemies of Japan are
It's 4chan.
Yeah, it's definitely 4chan.
The formatting and everything.
Yeah. The real enemies of Japan are its own citizens, huh, asshole? So seriously, we're gonna be split up like Germany? It's likely. They say there's a provisional government forming in Okinawa. They're all set to abandon East Japan and just have America protect the West. Those incompetents in the government might honestly do it. Is it really time to bash politicians? Traitorous shill. Traitor, law, shill, law. Strategically, America can't let go of Okinawa, and Japan wants to keep some kind of government. That means that making provisional governments in Okinawa is the best option. You bashed the hell out of Okinawa up to now. Now you're telling me this? Shut up, traitor. So if I'm a traitor, what are you? If you're posting on 4chan right now, that means you either fled the country or ran to Okinawa. Is this today's you don't get to talk thread? Yada, yada. Ooh.
So obviously the internet's very productive and helpful.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The reason it took a month to get to Okinawa was that
we were realistic.
Yeah. The reason it took a month to get to Okinawa was that we were losing the war. Supposedly, the plan had been to ferry me by plane to Okinawa once I arrived at Aruma base. But the constant bombing had slowed us down, so they gave up on the plane and decided I would escape to Kyushu by ground. There was more than one attack by Soviet spies and assault teams. Some of the SDF soldiers protecting me died. But when I got to Sasebo, I was able to get on a maritime SDF escort ship, managed to escape to Okinawa. Okinawa. Why were they doing all of this for me? No matter how many times I asked, no one would answer.
That's above my pay grade.
Okinawa in winter was covered in thick clouds. Come to think of it, I hadn't seen a real break in the clouds for a whole month. I was thinking about that when I was loaded into a van with dark tinted windows that had come to pick me up from the. Inside the car was not only the driver, but a middle-aged man sitting in the front in the front passenger seat. He was very short, perhaps only around 150 centimeters. But he had the air of a military veteran, and even though he was fully dressed, I could tell he was extremely muscular.
Okabe Rintaro, correct. I'm Shimoyama with the Ministry of Defense's Intelligence Security Command. We're going to make a stop at the airport, then head to the Okinawa Defense Bureau in Kadena. Maybe. Kadena? Anyway, I'm sure you're tired from your long journey, but I'll have to ask you to hang in there a while longer.
Right. Jesus. I'd heard that Tokyo had been destroyed.
Great.
No, it does not. The major function of
I
the.
was thinking about it before. I had said the word that they were comparing stuff to or the Hunt for the Time Machine like oil, but I think, now after some of the depictions of the apocalyptic future, it seems like they're definitely trying to crib from the the nukes.
Yeah, definitely.
I think. And representing that whole that's much more where they're going for. It's interesting. And this is another one of those frames where it's like, oh.
Yeah, this is serious.
Yeah, they're definitely, this isn't just another war. This is look at the atrocity that's been committed kind of a thing.
The major functions of the Japanese government were now headquartered out of the Okinawa Defense Bureau to allow for better cooperation with the American forces. That's what Shimoyama had explained to me. In other words, the place I was heading to was the core of Japan's defenses. Once I arrived, would I understand why it was so important that all those soldiers were willing to die? The car stopped in front of Naha Airport for a while. Then I saw a surprising pair get aboard.
We know? Oh, yeah. I would not have guessed. Okabe-san.
Wow, it's really Okran-san. Your son and Nakase-san. I wasn't expecting to see them. But they were the first person I knew who I'd met since coming to this world line. That alone was almost enough to make me cry. But still, I couldn't just sit there and be happy. What about Mayuri? Do you know where she is?
He's fine.
Yuki nodded as if trying to make me feel better.
He was just with us.
Just with you? That's right. Mayushi, Rumiho-chan, and Luka-kun, and Kaede-chan.
We got to the airport this morning. We were all waiting because they said we could go to some place called the Defense Bureau where we'd be safe. They just said they'd take Fubuki-chan and me there first.
And then they had us get inside this car where we found you.
Oh. Did I steal your line from you already?
It's all good. Anyway, I'm glad everybody's safe. Since Daru and Suzuha weren't mentioned, I'm going to ask about them, but...
Sorry, but can you talk about this later? He is totally not
clear. Yeah, Shimoyama cut me off and the car started moving.
The plan is for your families to arrive at the Okinawa Defense Bureau eventually. We already have them under our protection.
Really? I'm so glad.
Your other friends are all in the car. Oh boy. All in the car behind us. You haven't been separated, so don't worry. I mean, obviously beyond the fact that they are in a separate car.
I took a quick look and saw another identical van a little behind us. So Mayuri and the others were there?
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah. Mayuri is known to survive these things.
You're right, that's true. But her death has been used as an emotional like lever quite frequently, if memory serves. Like,
Yeah.
then we'll see them later, right? Of course.
Yuki let out a sigh of relief. But then I started to wonder about something else. Why were we split in a different car? This van could hold at least another 3 people. If we squeezed tight, it could easily hold everyone. Or was there some reason they put me, Yuki, and Fubuki in the same car? The car drove alongside the Okinawa monorail for a while and then went south down a wide bypass. Dark.
Huh? What was that?
Nothing, just there are all these stores, but they're all dark. There were a lot of franchise restaurants, big supermarkets, cafeterias for tourists, and rent-a-car places all jammed together along the side of the road, but all of them were dead silent and their lights were turned off. Barely any of the street lights were turned on, and the only cars were Japanese and US military vehicles. I didn't see anyone out walking.
There's a blackout in effect, as well as a curfew past 5 p.m. Okinawa may be safe, but this is still wartime. Things can't be like they were. I can't wait for the war to end and everything to go back to normal.
Wartime, huh?
Tell me, Okabe-kun, the Okinawa knew you knew it was a bright, fun place, even at night, wasn't it?
Oh, wouldn't know. I've been to Okinawa before.
That's a shame. Then I pray you can. I pray you get to come back for a good vacation sometime. This really is a nice island. Oh, we're gonna see Maho though, probably.
Oh, that's right. She's from Okinawa.
I think.
The car headed up from the bypass. Well, her family's from Okinawa. The car headed up from the bypass over a land bridge, then to another road. Quickly came to a long tunnel.
I actually wanted to ask the three of you some questions before we got to the bureau. That's why I have you riding with me.
Huh? Guess was right. That meant there was something he wanted to ask the 3 of us. But
That's
why
weird.
us three? That's a very weird
I just
combination of
figured.
people.
Yeah, I was figuring he just split because like he wanted them to have to guess between the two vehicles which one
Yeah.
Okabe's in if they're trying to, get him.
I wasn't particularly close to Yuki or Fubuki, but I'd only ever even started talking to them a few months ago. Then I shook my head. That was
Yeah,
before
that's
the world line changed. Maybe things were different in this. I had no idea what my relationship was to anyone else in this world line. Since the SDF had been treating me so well, I didn't want to make Shimayama suspicious. I decided it would be best to leave most of the talking to Fubuki.
Manayuki-san. Yes.
Shimayama spoke to you first. Yuki went stiff when her name was called. I could feel it even sitting next to her.
You don't know where Hashida Taru-kun and his little sister are, do you?
Sister, Suzuha. That would mean that even in this world line, Suzuha had come from the future and gotten to know Yuki and others while pretending to be Daru's sister. And the SDF evidently didn't know where Daru and Suzuha were.
No,
Yuki felt
they left with the time machine.
Yuki felt Yuki
Sorry.
felt silent and glanced over to me as if expecting help. But I didn't know where they were either. I just got here, so I didn't even have
So
any
funny.
memory.
I just fucking work here.
I didn't even have memories of this world line, so I had no way of answering. But Yuki's attitude bothered me. It was as if she knew where they were and was deliberately hiding it. I was supposed to too. I could figure that out. I could figure that out. I'm sure Shimayama could too. Strange tension filled the car. Yuki was trying to hide it. From who?
Everyone. You're sure you don't know?
Shimayama turned around from the front passenger seat again.
I'm sorry.
Yuki bowed her head and apologized.
But you were very close to him, weren't you? You were his lover, and yet you heard nothing. You know that cell phones don't work anymore, right? There are plenty of ways to get in touch with someone besides a cell phone. But I really don't. Nothing from his sister either. Nothing. By the way, I'm told you were researching something with Ishida-kun, Okabe-kun.
Huh? I wasn't sure how to
Hmm.
react when the conversation suddenly turned towards me.
This
Research.
feels more like an interrogation.
Yeah.
Every moment that passes.
Researching what? Uh-oh. If I panic, I'll make them suspicious.
What were you researching?
I would just have to give him the most harmless answers I could. It wasn't really research. It was more like inventions.
Inventions?
Like, whether you could attach a CCD camera to a bamboo copter photography. Or whether you could use the heat from a vacuum cleaner as a hairdryer.
No, that's interesting. Then you weren't, say, making something unbelievable and running away from us so we wouldn't find out what it was.
Running away? Damn.
Oh my god.
I responded. That was a mistake. But did that mean that Daru and Suzuha were hiding from the SDF? The SDF had risked their lives to protect me over the past month. Shouldn't I be asking them for help? Got even more confused.
If you don't know, then that's fine. We'll talk about Hishida-kun and his sister some other time.
Somebody please tell me what the right answer is. How am I supposed to respond here?
Nakase Katsumi-san.
That's Fubuki.
Huh.
That's
That
her
must be Fubuki's
That's her real name, yeah.
Huh. I'm sure we've probably at least heard it once before.
This is the first time, I think.
Oh, okay. I was like, huh. There was something else I wanted to ask you.
Me? This time it was Fubuki's turn to jump in.
No, don't get so nervous. It's nothing big.
Or so Shimayama had said, but Fubuki was clearly starting to get scared. Her reaction was strange, strong. Maybe the self-defense forces weren't simply protected. For one thing, there was no way normal civilians like us merited such important treatment. But then what were they after? No, I could guess.
Yeah.
Time machine. Duh! This war.
Well, I mean, I was going to say you're the only one who can save the world, is what they said. I would assume that they somehow found out about
Oh,
Steins,
maybe.
But maybe it is the time machine. That's probably more likely, I suppose.
This
I have
war,
no idea.
war started with Rush's time machine experiment. And of course, Nagabachi was involved. I learned from some of the soldiers that even in this world line, he'd sought asylum. And Suzuha was a time traveler from the year 2036. If Suzuha was here in this era, that meant that it was Daru who made the time machine that brought her here. If you had a time machine, you could change the outcome of this war. It would make sense that that's what the Japanese government thought, and if that was why they were trying to capture Daru, Suzuha, and their friends. Once I realized that, this whole situation started to feel terrifying to me. Was this car really headed towards the Okinawa defense? And if it was, were they really going to keep us? Were they really going to keep us safe there?
About the physical you underwent last week.
What-
Okay, not a great start.
Wait, was there some problem?
No, you've almost recovered from the wounds you sustained in Tokyo, and health-wise, you're fine. But you're under a lot of stress.
Oh.
Well, it's not surprising. You survived that terrible bombing. It's no exaggeration to say that most civilians have PTSD now. But it seems that your symptoms are a little different than most people's. You have very realistic dreams, for example. Particularly severe instances.
Oh, I think you're right. I think they know about reading Steiner.
I fucking said she had it. Oh my god, how about that? Yeah, and like back when she got a weird headache.
Yeah.
Right after we experienced a change at some point, I think. And so I was like, oh, I think she has the gift somehow or another, which suggests that she's maybe like another member of the clan in some way, shape, or form, possibly even a time travel. But anyway, um, in particularly severe instances, they could almost be called waking dreams. I'm told at times you lose the ability to tell the difference between dreams and reality. Isn't that just PTSD though? I don't. I mean,
Buki was too scared to speak, so Yuki interrupted curtly. It was rare to see Yuki. Nothing else. I'd never seen it before. It was plain now. Yuki didn't trust Shimayama. In fact, she considered him an.
no, it's very strange.
Shimayama paused a moment for effect and rubbed his chin.
There are others who say they have very similar dreams, and not just one or two.
What?
Of course, the degree to which they suffer this problem changes, but we found more than 10 in Japan alone. They exist in other countries too. Well, we've only gotten information from the West.
Coincidence. Fubuki was incredibly frightened, so I spoke in her place.
You've heard of Puchin, right?
Suddenly, Shimayama turned his gaze toward me and asked, "Sorry, in my head, I just got a
You know
thought
what I'm
of
saying?
I,
Puchin?
like President Putin from." from Russia.
Oh no, is it really?
I don't know. It'd be
I
funny
was
if it
thinking
is.
It's like a weird sex thing, but I mean, or at least if somebody said that to me in a car, you heard of Puchin, I'd be like, no.
Suddenly,
But I've got an idea what it might be. Is it anything like dogging?
suddenly, Shimayama turned his gaze towards me and asked a question. Putin.
Oh shit, you're right.
The
Good call.
Soviet General Secretary, right? I almost said the President of Russia, but I managed to stop myself. The Soviet Union still
Yeah,
existed in this
right.
world
Good
line.
catch.
Putin's title was General Secretary, not President. I'd heard that during my time in Aruma.
But, yeah. Interestingly enough, Nikase-san referred to him as the president of Russia.
All right, so that is strange, but she could also just be dumb to world politics.
Right. Is that not more reasonable? Like, I would assume that.
Right.
Like, they don't have a president. What are you, dumb? Yeah.
What?
Like, that's like if somebody, yeah, I don't know.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. And I'm not
There you go.
not really what you'd call a good student.
No, that's not it. It's one of the strange things about all the people who've had these dreams. They all call him President Putin. That's interesting too, because like, yeah, if you did hit the pronunciation the way that I think you're supposed to, it gets that might actually like that lettering is maybe closer to the. It's not like chin, but it like huge.
Miss-
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's
Mr. Gorbachev.
Right. That's oh my god, that's ancient. And they all call Gorbachev and Yeltsin. Man, yeah, Yeltsin and Gorbachev. Like, damn. I don't think. Wait, maybe they was Yeltsin ever a president?
I don't
He might have
remember.
been. I don't remember. I thought he was the prime minister. It doesn't matter. And they all call Gorbachev and Yeltsin president too. That's why the scientists have started calling it president's disease. Not a terribly clever name, if you ask me.
Wait. Is he talking about
That's weird.
reading Steiner? There was a strong chance that people besides me had that power, even if not as acutely. I never found out for sure, but what Ferris had said in the Alpha World line certainly suggested it. So it was certainly possible that Shimayama's waking dreams were actually the effects of Steiner. If they were all aware of the world line change a month ago, just like me, if Fubuki had the same memories of the other world line that I had, it would make perfect sense that she'd call Putin a president.
It also makes sense that she's shitting her pants right now.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Where are we? Oh my god. I'd be losing it. It's a terrible way to wake up.
Yeah.
Gorbachev, Yeltsin. You don't know them? Don't they teach that in world history? I only took science classes in high school. Where?
Yeah.
When was that? Hey, was that an option?
I
Damn it.
wish I had known that.
I missed out. Yeah. Oh, anyway. Pretty soon, though, science just turns into math.
Yeah.
So it's, you know what? Never mind. I thought everyone knew about them. Do kids today not know who they are? Who they are? Not like the kids. Okay, I misread it. Anyway, I find it hard to believe you're all that ignorant. I'm sure you know about Gorbachev and Yeltsin. Right, Okabe-kun?
I have a feeling Okabe's gonna
Whatever.
fuck up here in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been doing great so far.
He's been doing good. Yeah, I suppose so.
One of those is a trap. They're not both presidents. I'm guessing that that's the case.
Yeah, he's laying a trap here somewhere. I just don't know where it's at.
Perestroika and the fall of... Oh. These things shouldn't... If the Soviet Union's still around, that should... I don't think either of those... I don't know about Perestroika exactly. I guess that could still... But wait, I know that that's a thing that happened around the fall. That might actually be the fall. I don't know what that is. But the fall of the wall is definitely a thing that shouldn't happen if the Soviets are still around.
I bet this is where he fucks up.
There it is.
Yeah.
He just did.
They were in the textbooks. The second after the words were out of my mouth, an alarm went off in my mind. Something was wrong.
Ding dong.
There was something strange about what Shimayama was saying. And then I realized the East and West were caught up in the middle of a world war. How could the Berlin Wall have fallen? And could Gorbachev really execute Perestroika? By the time I realized he tricked me...
I was going to say, I need to look at what that is, because I can't remember. I thought that was around the fall or after fall.
Too late. My panic appeared on my face.
Sorry. Oh, that is the system of restructuring. That's the Soviet Union into the Russian Federation. That's the word for that. Okay. Sorry. You too, huh? And you were deliberately trying to hide it, weren't you? So, the information was right after all. You know something important. Listen, Okabe-kun, I want you to tell me.
Shimayama suddenly laughed. It was a bitter laugh, almost eerily so.
Oh,
he doesn't know about
dude, I don't know this motherfucker. Yeah, Gorbachev and Yeltsin are post their federation presidents and prime ministers. They weren't involved. They don't come around. Well, Gorbachev oversees the fall. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Who are these people you all keep talking about? We don't have any data on them, and neither do any of the American intelligence agencies. That data doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. I looked over at Yuki. From the look on her face, I could tell she really had no idea who they were.
Why didn't you guys give me a heads up? Perestroika, the fall of the Berlin Wall. Did these things really happen? Tell me, please.
But I couldn't answer. I was thinking of something completely different. I suddenly realized why the world line might have changed a month ago. Steve, what if Russia used a time machine that day in an experiment to change the past? The goal of the experiment would have been to stop the collapse of the Soviet Union. And if the result of their changing the past was this world line, how foolish. A single change to the past and the butterfly effect makes the entire world so different. Did they know how many people had died?
And how many died to watch it not survive? Are you kidding me? That's a sunk cost fallacy in a heartbeat from
Yeah.
like Soviet logic, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, have you and your friends really experienced the history of a different world? I just can't believe it. It's just nonsense cooked up by some crazy scientists.
He was about to push me further when...
Oh.
Wait, I thought cell phones didn't work. We heard the sound of an incoming call on a cell
They
phone.
don't.
Kimiyama grunted and took his phone out of his pocket.
Must be some sort of satellite. This is Shimoyama. Yeah, we're on our way to the bureau. What? What do you mean? Damn it. That's the problem with these idiots. What country do these politicians think they're working for?
Kimiyama's finger slammed down on the end call button so hard I thought the phone would break. There was a look of rage on his face.
Changing our destination. Head to Kadena Base, Gate 2.
Words were filled with irritation as he spoke to the driver. Changing destinations? Who was he just talking to? As I sat there confused, Shimoyama started to call someone else.
This is Shimoyama. We're changing our destination. We'll meet at Gate 2 at Kadena Base.
That was all he said before he hung up.
What's going on? The situation's changed. Wakabe-kun's heading to a U.S. military base. From there, he might take a fun trip on a U.S. Air Force plane to America.
What? America?
I'll ask them to make sure you get a first-class accommodations, but don't get your hopes up. They don't listen to us any more than you'd listen to a yapping pet dog.
Yeah, that's true for military. Why America?
Oh, America in particular. And American Japanese relationships have been weird since Japan. I have no idea. It's got to be a very interesting... Yeah, the perspective from Japan, I can't imagine. Anyway, I don't know if it's CIA or the NSC, but someone wants us to hand you...
NSC, is that National Security Council? Or is that supposed to be like an NSA kind of thing?
Oh. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say NSA, but it might be the National Security Council. It would be weird, I guess, but I don't know.
But
yeah, that checks out.
Why?
Anyway, ask him yourself.
And then he turned back toward the front and fell silent, refusing to answer. The car went down the road for a while until we got off an exit at South Okinawa. Stopped in front of the gate. Several U.S. soldiers had evidently been waiting for my arrival.
Once we hand you over to the Americans, we're not going to get any accurate information from them. So, this is my last chance.
I wonder if if it was stylistically chosen this way, or if it was on purpose, like a reason for it. Why instead of saying U.S., it says U5 Air Force?
U5.
Huh.
Yeah. Because U.S. Air Force, I think, would be illegal, probably.
Probably, yeah, maybe.
That's visually
close enough.
Close enough. Or maybe not illegal, but like they're not trying to get that, they're not trying to step in that. And then, because like, yeah, the Air Force logo is like legally distinct.
Yeah.
So close, like, yeah. I don't know.
Shimoyama turned around from the front passenger seat straight at me. His eyes were desperate, begging.
Tell me, what are we supposed to do from now on? Please.
I remembered all the soldiers in Tokyo who'd fought so desperately to protect me. Were they fighting to help someone else in Tokyo right now, or were they already...
Wakabe-kun.
I really don't know. Do you think I could do something about this war all by myself? Knowing that Gorbachev and Yeltsin were presidents of Russia, or that they brought a dramatic end to the Cold War, it doesn't actually help anything. I could hear the sound of another car getting closer. Kimiyama sighed and opened the passenger side door.
Get out.
Exited the car as I was told. Oh, Corinne! That's That's funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Yuri got out of the van behind us and ran over to me. Yuri! Okarin! All. My childhood friend flung herself into my arms and I held her tight. I get to see you. So glad you're safe. I could feel her warmth. Mayuri was here. I'd never gone almost a whole month without seeing her before. This was wartime. I couldn't easily contact her like I could in the old world line, so I'd been so worried about whether or not Mayuri was okay. It was no exaggeration to say that I survived this far just to make sure. I erased the entire Alpha world line to save her. No matter what happened, I wanted her to be safe. Okay, you're hurting me. Oh, sorry. I held her too closely. I took a step back. She believed, you know. She believed she'd get to see Okarin again. Yeah.
Hey, you're safe, yeah.
Fucking Ferris, never breaking.
Right. Knee deep in a literal war. Gotta keep it going. Maid Cafe plus Nyan or whatever is dead now. Like it is rubble. It's a crater. There's no internet. Okabe-san.
I heard two more voices I reckon. Oh, Ferris without the fucking pigtails, though. I heard two more voices I recognized.
Or gloves.
Or gloves. Ferris and Luca, and behind them I saw Kaede.
Took a war.
Still wearing a pink undershirt, though.
Well, you know.
Yeah. And also a fashionably designed white belt. I'm glad you're all safe.
That's actually pretty funny. You're right. She does have a belt. Okabe-san,
Lukaku. I felt myself getting choked up, too, when I saw Lukaku cry. I exchanged greetings with Kaede, too. Ibuki had grabbed onto her like a little kid. She was still pale and trembling. Ferris, guess you're not wearing your maid outfit for once.
It's been a long time since anybody called me Ferris, yeah.
Ferris spoke sadly. Then she put her hand around my neck and held me close. Her little pink lips got close to my ear as if she was about to kiss me. Hey. What's going
on? Don't be so embarrassed, yeah.
He laughed mischievously. Then Ferris, no, Aki Harumiho, whispered into my ear while pretending to kiss me.
Be careful. Don't trust the Ministry of Defense or the Americans. Adults are all liars. None of them tell the truth.
Right. Ferris had a special talent. Cheshire break. She was incredibly good at looking into someone's heart and seeing what they were thinking. Yeah.
Forgot the powers. Everybody's powers have to come back because he's remembering. God.
Just figured that out. One of them just tricked me. Ferris looked surprised and took a step back.
That's sad, Nyan.
Yeah. Then I heard the sound of another engine. This time it was coming from beyond the gate and in space. It belonged to a black luxury car with an E on the license plate. Behind it was a minibus. Two of them stopped in front of the gate. It was time for my reunion.
Welcome.
An American soldier as tall as a basketball player got out of the car.
Welcome, everyone. My name's Hammond.
His Japanese was good, but not great.
Everyone except Mr. Okabe, please get on the bus.
He was smiling, but I could tell he wasn't going to allow any. Then the other American soldiers were still carrying their rifles. Good guard. Kimiyama and the other Japanese soldiers were watching us from a distance. They didn't try to stop us. They were just looking downward. Huh? Everyone but Okarin. Mean.
There's no need to be scared. We're just going to talk to you a little. And then we'll send you right to the Okinawa Defense Bureau. Come along.
Look her in.
Fine, don't worry.
What?
Yeah.
Yuki-san, take care of Mayuri.
Okay.
She nodded and put her arms around Yuri's shoulder as she led her to the bus. Everyone else followed. To my parents, I said hi.
Oh, yeah.
Once
Yes,
Once everyone but me was on, the minibus left immediately. The area in front of the gate fell. Hard to believe this existed in the same world as all the places I'd crossed. My escape through Japan's main.
All right, Mr. Okabe. Head, yeah, come this way, whatever words.
He told me to get in the back seat of the black luxury car. What would happen to me? I tried to think about it, but realized there was nothing I could do. I was just about to get into the car when...
Okabe-kun, run!
Oh, shit! Shimiyama's scream was cut off by the sound of gunfire. In the corner of my eye, I saw the American soldiers firing without hesitation. No way. I tried to turn around when...
Oh, no. Get inside.
A large hand blocked my vision as Hammond held me down. I couldn't hear Shimiyama's voice anymore. Through the gaps between his fingers, I could see that nothing was moving, and I knew exactly what that meant. I was shoved into the car before I had time to think about it. This is... I tried to open my mouth, but Hammond looked me in the eyes and shook his head. I wasn't supposed to talk then. Hammond sat next to me and closed the door. The car started to move.
The term's extraordinary rendition.
Yeah. Soon we turned down a different road than the one the minibus was taking. America, huh? I'd never been there before. What were they going to do to me there? Use me as a guinea pig? Cut open my head and dissect my brain? I probably wasn't going to be able to do any tourists.
You never know.
I felt like screaming, but I
can't rule it out.
but tried my best to stay calm.
There's someone I want you to meet.
Hammond suddenly spoke. Then he handed me something. I took it before I even looked at what it was. When I checked, it was a normal smartphone.
It's not locked. Just hit that button.
Used. Pressed the button as I was told. Then something appeared.
Amadeus.
Kurisu. It was the Amadeus Makise Kurisu. Why does the U.S. military have Amadeus? I was about to ask Hammond when, for the first time in about a month, that feeling came back.
You would go back in reality, I guess. That time.
Yeah, I guess time doesn't change, but reality does. The whole
Yeah, that's what's strange about that is that the whole timeline advanced. So, like, somebody went back substantially to alter something, probably in like the 91s.
Yeah.
How old's Christina?
Like 20 something.
Anyway, sorry.
The whole
Yeah,
world and its
right.
colors began to
About
shift. There was a feeling of instability, like my brain was unable to recognize what it was. The dizziness and a sense of falling like you get when you're anemic. I could hear the blood vessels deep in my ears, and the sense of floating finally stopped, and my surroundings coalesced into firm shapes.
Fred?
Oh yeah, a whole month has passed.
Interesting.
Erie was in front of me. I was in the lab, in the room I knew well. There was no trace of Okinawa anywhere.
Unstuck in time.
Mayushi's gonna get embarrassed if he keeps that.
I realized that I was staring at Mayuri. Looked around the room. Daru was sitting in front of the PC, like always, hunched over with his back towards me. Suzuha was reading a magazine on the couch. On the open page, I could read the title, New Encephalitis Strikes Worldwide. Are you in danger? Same couch, the same cheap fridge, Daru's computer desk, the dirty curtain that cut off the development room from the rest of the lab. All here. The wall clock, which I picked out of the garbage dump, told me it was past 6. I looked at the calendar, and 2010 was already gone. It was January 2011. The world line had changed again. I was back to the old world line? Hey, Yuri, this is Akihabara, right?
Okarin, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Is it not Akihabara?
Akihabara?
Don't
What?
fucking wind me up like that.
What day is it again?
First?
Do you know who Kolbachev is?
Gorbachev? I've heard that name.
Perestroika, right? Russia, or it was Gorbachev back from the Soviet days. Both. See, this is my head. With me, it's like that. These days, when you think Russia, you think Putin, but I'm sure if he was in front of me and he glared at me, I'd pee my pants.
I know Putin's son. He's the president of Russia, right? Did you know he likes doggies? He keeps Nikita. I saw it on the news.
President.
President.
Yeah, that's right. He's president. Everyone's like, dude, what the hell? Miri, Daru, and Souza all looked at me
Are you
suspiciously.
all right?
It felt like a long time since anyone looked at me back. No longer had to worry that I might be killed at any second. I felt incredibly relieved, but at the same time, wondered why had the world line changed again? I needed to calm down and think for a bit. Went up to the roof and booted up the web browser on my smartphone. Unlike during wartime, it connected immediately. I was amazed at the speed. Just getting an internet connection in the last world line had been difficult enough. But here I got fucking 5G. I started by searching for Gorbachev, and the results came back instantly. He was the eighth and final leader of the Soviet Union, yada yada yada. Perestroika. Soviet Union's first and last president. The August coup d'etat and the collapse of the Soviet Union. All the keywords I hoped to see were there. As soon as I confirmed that the Soviet Union was dismantled at the end of the 20th century and no longer existed, I closed the browser. So that means, in order for that to make, in order for that to make sense, it means that somebody else, or in that other world line, someone prevented the Soviets from going back to changing it in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody changed something, I think. Or they changed something and then activating Amadeus causes Kurisu to recognize the change, which undoes it. I don't know.
We'll figure out. Then why had the world line changed again? I hadn't done anything. I didn't have any way to interfere with the divergence value. So what had changed it? Had whoever performed the first experiment in Russia undone it? Had they watched?
What's divergence about? We don't have to deal with that now. Never mind.
Well, the originally the Divergence.
No, sorry, the young adult book series Divergence.
Oh, I got you.
From this.
Yeah,
that's why we don't have to deal with it now.
Had they watched its progress for a month and then been satisfied? Were they going to keep doing it? And if they did, would I be caught up in it each time? Old. It was a mistake to come out without a code on. Nothing I could come up with by myself would be anything more than a guess. Back to the lab.
It's like Hunger Games adjacent.
Yeah. The wreaths we put up at the entrance of the Christmas party were still up. That Christmas party, huh? It had only been a month. Felt like a million years ago. I had no memories of what I had done in this world line after the Christmas party.
Oh, come to think of it, we left the decorations up. We should take those down. You and Fubukishi, god damn it, collapsed during the party, right? So there was a big fuss, and we sort of forgot to clean up for a month.
So that's interesting to me, in the sense that, like, all right, so let's look at from Daru's perspective. Okabe collapses, right? Our Okabe goes to a different world line. Who is what is going on in the Okabe's head left behind? Like, clearly nothing.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like either either that reality doesn't actually exist at all, or like, you know, the only reality is the one that Okabe Prime is experiencing, which I think can't be the case,
Right.
because of the way stuff has to work out
Yeah.
in the long
Because
run.
clearly a month has passed
Or
with him being here. I guess doing stuff. Otherwise, these
like
people would have
or
some kind
there
of
is an Okabe that's here that he just sort of
takes over.
booted out.
Yeah, booted
like
out.
kicked
Maybe.
out of the body or something. I don't.
But
Maybe
wouldn't
that's
that
the thing.
Okabe
Maybe
know?
it just is like shuffling. Well, yeah, right. He's got reading Steinar, so he'd know that he's being booted out to a different. Maybe that's the whole system. Is it's just like you like turn the wheel a step or two, and every Okabe moves. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Though, like it's like a there's like an Okabe dial.
Like Mikase-san and
They're
I.
all aligned with certain realities, and then you move certain
Yeah.
number of steps, and now you're replacing the Okabe that was at step 6 or whatever, and they've all moved 6 steps or something. I don't know.
Mikase-san and I collapsed. Was that when the world line changed? Everyone remembered that I'd collapsed at the Christmas party, which means that I'd come back to the same world line as the one I'd been in before. If this was Russia's doing, it was terrifying to think they could control the world line to that degree. There was one more thing. It worried me that Fubuki had collapsed too. I stood there lost in thought. Daru and Mayuri looked a little concerned. And oh, come to think of it, I was wondering how Nakase-san. I quickly come up
Who?
with an excuse. Yeah, Fubuki-chan, you mean? Why are you calling her by her real name? That's weird. She's still in the
I don't
hospital.
think I've ever said that in your presence. Why do you know that?
Yeah.
Don't be weird. Stalker.
She's still in the hospital.
The
What?
hospital? You know it's been a month?
Yeah, she's fine, but they won't let her leave.
I've heard that lately, unless you were really, really sick, they wouldn't let you stay in the hospital for long. Was Fubuki sick with something?
They think she's got this, I guess. The encephalitis.
Suzuha whispered as she held up the page of the magazine. New encephalitis strikes worldwide. Are you in danger? Encephalitis. I borrowed the magazine. Sudden bouts of amnesia, distorted sense of time, forgetting the people around you, the inability to tell the difference between reality and daydreams. They were talking about this last November. I'd seen a glimpse of it on the news.
This is a very sensational article.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's reached Japan. Are
Those
you in danger?
irresponsible.
This is like, what is it, a weekly world news?
Yeah, fucking National Enquirer. Oh, man.
Outside of Japan, they'd seen almost 100 people, albeit with mild symptoms. In Japan, there were 10 people being kept at hospitals for examinations, or so it had been said. And why was I not one of them? That's a good question. So it had made its way to Japan. And one of those 10s was Fubuki then. Was it transmissible by air? We didn't catch it at the Christmas party, did we? Come on, put it together, dude. Put it together, dude.
Like, you were told this. Yeah, like, all but explicitly.
I knew that getting nervous wouldn't
Evil
help
genius,
anything.
I
Still, I wondered.
Hey, shouldn't you go to the hospital too, Ocarin?
So yeah, he wasn't in the hospital this whole time, so clearly there was an Ocarin here doing something.
Huh.
You were in worse shape than she was, you know?
Yeah,
But
think about it.
y'all get right on that.
Gave her a half-hearted answer to Mayuri and turned back to the magazine. Strange symptoms being found all over the world, cause unknown, sudden memory loss. Memories differ from those of the people around you, losing all sense of passage of time, losing the ability to tell the difference between dreams and reality, and sometimes having waking dreams. Who else was saying waking dreams earlier? The article was filled with things like that. This was just like reading Steiner.
My God.
And it matched exactly with what Shimayama had told me in the other world line.
You have very realistic dreams, for example. In particularly severe instances, they could almost be called waking dreams. I'm told at times you lose the ability to tell the difference between dreams and reality. There are others who say they have very similar dreams, and not just one or two.
I'd wondered back then if maybe the reason she collapsed at
Catch
the Christmas
up.
party wasn't some new disease, unexpected patient every. Hold on. He said I wondered back then, but this is literally the same day. He just teleported back. Okay, anyway.
He didn't. Yeah, I don't think he did.
Maybe the reason she collapsed at the Christmas party wasn't some new disease, but the unexpected activation of. That would mean her diagnosis was wrong. The unnecessary tests and treatments they gave her wouldn't help a bit. Looked like I needed spooky.
Or it's CERN, or whatever. Right?
So,
Come on.
This I was wondering if we're going to get to this. This is a minor Easter egg for those who are familiar with the Science Adventure series, and one that you and I would be familiar with. The hospital that Fubuki is in is the same hospital that in Chaos Child, Hakuru and Sarah, is that her name? Where they snuck into where the Serica, yeah, same hospital.
Okay.
Ended up going over
I
that
guess
day.
she doesn't. Well, she does. Whatever. Weird.
Yeah.
The rules. They don't. I don't. I mean, does she? Is she? Whatever.
She was at a large general hospital with a medical student department located in Hanamizu. It was close enough to Akihabara that I could walk, and getting there was. Since she might get the wrong idea if I went alone, I encouraged Mayuri to come with me. I hoped it would look like I was only coming as an afterthought, but it ended up being a bigger deal than I expected. When they heard that Mayuri was going, Yuki and Kaede decided to come too. Evidently,
Not the one.
they'd all been to visit Fubuki several times before, and they knew exactly where she was located. They walked down the halls without hesitation. It was almost 8 when visiting hours ended, and so we needed to hurry. But as we passed by a nurse's station, a minor commotion. A woman in her late 40s was wearing a gray jersey, was yelling at the doctors and nurses.
Get enough of this. When do I get to go home?
We've told you only after you've been examined and gotten the treatment you need.
You aren't giving me any kind of treatment. And now what was supposed to be a quick exam ended with me stuck here for a month. What am I supposed to do about my job?
Calm down. There's still a lot we don't know about the disease. Without proper examination and treatment, it's dangerous.
Liar. Your TV said not to worry about it because it wasn't that bad.
We told you before, that's only if you get the appropriate treatment. One of the nurses just told me that you were dizzy.
This is bullshit. I just felt anemic because dinner was late. I'm just fine. Let me go home.
I don't know how it works in Japan, but I think if the patient wanted to leave, you should be able to leave.
Unless they're being involuntarily committed for some reason. You're right.
The woman was about.
I don't know how it works in Japan, though.
The woman was about ready to grab the doctor by the throat. Several female nurses held her back and then dragged her off somewhere with reassuring words.
That scared me. You think Fubuki-chan's okay?
The girls hurried even faster down the. Fubuki was in a 4-person room at the very end of the hallway. We hesitantly peeked inside.
Damn, 4-person?
Yeah, I know, right?
That voice.
We could hear moaning coming from beyond the curtains. Yuri went pale and hurriedly ripped them open.
Fubuki-chan? What?
Fubuki made a strange noise and spun around as we came in. I looked closer and saw that she was sitting on the bed with her legs crossed, watching a show on an LCD TV attached to it. Her eyes were red and swollen with tears, but given the fact that she had a stick of Pocky, is it Pocky or Pokey? I think it's Pocky, right?
I think it's Pocky.
Pocky in her mouth.
So. I'm not 100%.
She was probably just crying over a soap opera.
Huh? Oh, you guys came to see me.
Fubuki wiped away her tears and welcomed us with her usual.
Kind of hilarious, actually. Oh, you're just watching a soap.
Scared me, Yushi. I thought you were crying.
You really scared us.
Sorry. Even as she apologized, she tossed another chocolate-coated stick into her mouth. Her hair was tied up and she was wearing some kind of headgear. First, I thought it was just that she was too lazy to do her hair, but evidently not. There were cords coming out of the headgear that was attached to a belt around her waist. Were they monitoring her brainwaves? And as unobtrusively as possible, I took a look at the other patients around the room. They were all wearing the same headgear. They may have been giving it to all the encephalitis patients.
I feel like we should be putting quotes around that
Yeah.
encephalitis.
Sorry to bring everybody over, Fubuki-chan. Oh, you're very welcome. I didn't think Okran-san would come.
Fubuki stared at me intently. She'd never done that before, so I started to wonder if there was something on my face. They said you collapsed like I did, so how are you doing?
Just fine. I really don't understand why they won't let me leave. Every day they just do exams and there's nothing for me to do. I'm so bored. And you're not allowed to use your phone in the rooms? If I want to send a text, I have to go all the way to the lobby. They turn off the lights at 9 so I can't watch the late night anime. They just don't believe this.
Her bed was surrounded with portable game consoles, magazines, and a miniature DVD player. Anything to stave off boredom. And given all the half-empty boxes of snacks, it was hard to believe the disease was as serious news.
Are you okay, Okran-san?
Yeah, I told Mayuri this, but I'm fine.
I see. I'm glad.
She seemed truly relieved, but she was staring at me.
What?
Suddenly, fidget. Not only that, she blushed and then glanced at me, then almost started to cry. She was acting really weird.
Kaede-chan?
What's wrong?
Kaede started fidgeting even more when she realized that everyone was looking at her. She had no choice but to go over, whisper something in Fubuki's ear. Huh?
Fubuki-chan. Shh.
The other girls tried to quiet Fubuki down. This was a hospital. There were other patients in the room. We couldn't make a fuss.
But listen to this, everybody.
Okay.
Hiroshima Kaede-san here suspects me of secretly dating Okran-san.
Now it was our turn, shouting in surprise. Where are
Which
you
she
getting
obviously
that
has a
from?
problem with.
Right.
Because according to Mayuri-chan, you were the one who wanted to come see Fubuki-chan today, right?
That's. I mean, well, that's true.
Fucking high school ass.
Yeah. There was another reason, but I couldn't say that.
And Fubuki-chan and Okran-san were staring longingly at one another.
We were not staring longingly at one another.
That's not it. Fubuki tried to scratch her hair, but the headgear blocked her way, and she gave up.
I just had this really realistic dream.
Dream. Startled.
Oh, yeah?
That may have been what I wanted to find.
It was sometime this evening. I was kind of spacing out. There was nothing to do around here. And then somehow, I don't really remember, but me and Okran-san and Yuki-san were all taken somewhere in a car by these scary men.
Interesting. I was there too?
Yeah.
So she... it's different than I was thinking. It's not really reading Steinyard then, it seems like.
Same. Meant Fubuki had experienced the same things I'd gone through in the other world line. This evening would have been the same time. I peeked through the curtain.
She still got like an anchor to the to this world. Like, you know, like she still has the memories of being from this reality. Or whatever. Yeah, interesting.
I peeked through the curtains to make sure that none of the hospital staff were around. Sorry, guys, but can you leave me alone with Nakata? Oh.
What?
No way.
Not like that.
Fucking called it.
I wasn't really sure.
Like a sniper.
I wasn't really sure how to handle that reaction.
Is something you don't want Mayushi and everyone else to know about?
Interesting phrasing there, Mayushi.
It's about her disease.
Okay, I understand. Yuri nodded and went outside the curtains. The other two looked bothered, but they followed her. Kase-san, did this dream of yours take place in Okinawa? Huh? Yeah, that's right. I think it was Okinawa. I think I saw a sign saying so when I was in the car. Inside the car, there was you, me, and Yuki-san, then the driver, a short man who was an SDF soldier. Yeah? The man's name was Shimiyama.
Okay, fuck off.
Ibuki suddenly went pale. A dream about being in a car in Okinawa could be written off as a coincidence, but knowing the exact name of the man in that shared dream was a different matter. How? Why? The man talked to you about waking dreams and the president of Russia. That's right. And then we were taken to a U.S. Army base. There you met up with Mayuri and the others and said goodbye to me. Ibuki was stunned to speak. There was no room for doubt. My suspicion turned into a certainty. Ibuki had a stronger reading Steiner than most people and remembered the other world lines as a relatively realistic. In the dream, that Shimiyama guy said that you and I both had memories of another world. Yeah. Was he right? Yeah.
Sort of.
I hesitated for a moment, but then I gave her a brief explanation of my own reading Steiner ability. The one thing I wanted to make sure she understood was that her dreams weren't caused by an illness. Her reaction wasn't what I expected. Then there may be others who aren't sick too. Sure. There's nothing to do, so I talk to the others a lot about the dreams we have, and sometimes it's just amazing how similar they are. There's a kid in elementary school who's in the next room. We became friends. They said that they'd never been to Okinawa, but they had a dream that they were there. Tokyo would burn down, and the self-defense forces saved them and took them there. See, if that was true, then it wasn't just Fubuki. There were other patients who were in the hospital for a reason who didn't have any kind of disease at all. Did I talk to the doctors? No. I don't think they'd believe you. And if they started to think that your delusions were getting worse, you're right. You shouldn't tell the others yet. You don't want there to be a fuss.
Yeah. Rise up! Escape!
And then Yuki poked her head through the curtain.
Okabe-san, an else is coming.
Visiting hours are over for today. Look at the clock.
Oh, there you go. Nice, yeah.
It was well past 8. Thanks for being in such a rush, Fubuki-chan. Next time we'll come earlier so we have more time. If she don't go, the nurse will get mad. Let him get mad. Sleep with me tonight. Fubuki was back to her usual self. She grabbed Mayuri's hand tight. Kaede chuckled and forced her to let go.
Don't be selfish. We'll come as often as we can.
That's not good enough. Come tomorrow and the day after. As soon as school's over. I'm so bored I could die. Fubuki flailed her arms and legs about. It was a bit too deliberate, if you ask me. Kaede patted her on the head.
Right. Bye-bye.
Mayuri and Yuki went over to pat her too, and before long she looked like a little puppy in a kennel being petted. We left her behind and exited the room. I was the last to leave, and before I did, I turned around and saw Fubuki staring at us from the bed. Our eyes met, so I nodded a little. It's okay. Not sick. Don't worry.
That
I don't know.
I know there's time travel and dimension hopping nod.
I don't know if she understood what I meant. She nodded back. I want to talk in private. I'll wait for you to come. Something in the short message made me feel very tense. I said my goodbyes to the others. Contacted. Double check. Make sure.
I have no idea.
I just want to make sure I didn't miss it. I think it was.
All right. So VA route on January 23rd. Not after I said my goodbyes to the others, I contacted Suzuha. She told me to come to the top of BrodyCon. When I arrived, she was standing silently on. There was no trace of a smile on her face. Her eyes shone in the darkness, and as she glared at me, a shiver ran down. This was not the Suzuha. Maybe. Whatever she wanted to talk to me about, I was sure I wasn't going to like it.
Sorry to bring you here like this, Uncle Okran.
What you want to talk about?
Bang. Oh, I'm really not good at talking to people or trying to persuade them, you know?
The way she stumbled over her words, it was clearly something she didn't want to talk about. Just say it. That's what the old you would have done, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Are you trying to break this to me gently? See. Thanks.
Not really like that.
Suzuha got a little annoyed and tried to get back to me. Ended up swallowing. To be honest, it was a bit of a shock at first. We're so different than the.
I can't help it. When the world line changes, so does the environment you grew up in. And that changes your personality. How you think.
Yeah, but I don't think that anymore. You're still the Suzuha I know.
No, I really am different. Not the Amane Suzuha you know well, Uncle Okran.
Suzuha
I followed you today.
followed me.
That's right, all the way into the hospital.
You say? Do that. No.
Mm.
There was only one reason she would do something. Realized that I shifted world line.
I suspected that your reading Steiner might have activated on Christmas Eve. And not just then, today too. And now, I'm sure.
I deliberately avoided telling Suzuha that the world line had. It was obvious that she would.
Tell me, is this a different world line than it was before?
What would you do with the answer?
Just tell me. Mm. This is an order, Okabe Rintaro.
I gulped as I saw her pull a gleaming pistol out from her jacket. It was aimed right between my eyes. This is
I
a
don't know why I thought she was just gonna pop him, but
joke, right?
I wouldn't do this as a joke.
Felt like Suzuha was trying to revert to who she was when I the world line. A woman who put her mission above everything. She was so desperate it hurt to even look at her. What would happen if she shot me here? I imagined myself lying on the ground in a pool
Huh.
of blood.
Holy shit. But if you're not telling her, then what's the point, right? Like, she doesn't need you. If you're not helping. Anyway.
My mind, the image overlapped with Kurisu's body. I closed my eyes and grit my teeth, trying to avoid a flashback. I'd spent the last months trying to escape Okinawa in the middle of a war, but I still wasn't used to having a gun pointed right at me.
I'll ask you one more time. Did the world line change? Is this a different world than it was before?
But Suzuha's hands were shaking a little. Held the gun. That would have been unimaginable when she first come here from the future. Maybe she was ashamed of it because she bit down on her teeth even harder. Bleed, huh? She must have bit her lip when she did so because a single trail of blood ran down her jaw and stared at the blood as I answered. Worry. We're in the same world line as we're in the same world line we were before.
You're sure?
Yeah. Look, it's true that we shifted between world lines once, but we came back. I think.
Who was responsible? Russia?
I think so.
which means they finally started experimenting with the time machine.
Nodded.
That means there's no time to waste. If they keep experimenting, something will happen that can't be changed, and it might close the path to Steins Gate. I'm a fool. I shouldn't have wasted time worrying. I'm done trying to get you to change your mind.
What will you do?
Kabe Rintaro, you're gonna follow my orders. You're coming back to July 28th with me. I won't let you refuse. What?
Are you okay with erasing this world line?
Shut up. Pop you one right in the wing.
There was a horrible ringing in my ear and a fierce pain in my eardrum. A second later, the smell of gunpowder passed by my face. Really shot at me.
Oh, she shot near you. Next time it won't be a threat. I'll shoot you.
She was glaring at me as if she was about to cry. We stared at each other in silence. I tried as hard as I could to come up with something to calm her down, but nothing came. Nothing I could come up with would get her to change. What did I do?
Get in the fucking time machine, I think, probably. Souza, Ocarin, what are you doing?
Suddenly, I heard Daru's voice. I turned and saw that he'd just come out of the door near the stairs.
Dad, how? I've got a message from Mayushi and Amaneshi. They said you contacted Ocarin. I had a bad feeling, so I decided to look for you. And then I got a message from an unknown sender.
That's interesting.
An unknown sender? They sent me a URL that led to a map of this place. I thought you might be here, so I came right over.
That's suspicious, Daru.
Yeah. Somebody's got it. Like, and then I heard a gunshot, and it really scared me.
Daru's whole body was covered in sweat. Even as he spoke, large beads were appearing on his forehead. He must have really hurried.
So, Souza, what's with the gun?
Oh, Suzuha wasn't actually...
Not buying it for one fucking second. You wouldn't fire a gun if you didn't have a reason. Duh. Come on, Souza, out with it. Dad, you know what it is. What's that? The world line changed. Russia started experimenting with the time machine. You're sure? That's why I'm doing this. At this rate, it'll be too late to do anything. We won't reach Steins Gate. We won't be able to stop World War III. Lots of people will die. Mom will die, and I won't be able to stop any of it. That would be really bad. But still, even if you threaten Ocarin and force him to go back to the past with you, is that really going to work?
Daru's normally easygoing expression.
Since I started to research the time machine in the world lines, I've kind of figured something out. I think Ocarin might be right, and it may be impossible to save Makiseishi the normal way. Now you're saying it too, Dad. If the rules and causality of the world lines could be changed that easily, Ocarin should have been able to save Mayushi in the Alpha world line, right? Then what am I supposed to do?
Daru brought up his fist to his chest.
That's what we're researching, right? But there's no time. We have time machines. It's okay. Just leave it to me. I'll figure something out. I promise. I wish you'd listen to your dad once in a while.
Daru's voice was strong and kind in a way you never imagined he was capable of. He softly took the gun from Suzuha's. Didn't resist.
Here, You forgot something that's way more important than a gun. Cold days like these, or like today, you should be wearing these.
Daru took
Mittens.
something out of his pocket. He pressed it into Suzuha's hands.
Ah.
It was a pair of handmade gloves. It was the present that Yuki had given her at the Christmas party. I remembered it well. When he gave her the gloves, warm tears started.
What to do? I don't know what to do anymore. Yeah. Help me, Dad. Help me, please.
Suzuha's shoulders shook as tears poured down. I turned my eyes towards the time machine, wet in the darkness. Decided that I'm not back in that. No matter what Daru said, no matter how Suzuha threatened me, I wasn't going to go back to the past. Can't look back.
Weird.
He had made so much
Weird.
progress.
But I mean, he does.
The next thing she
We don't
knew,
have that much time to turn it back around here.
Suzuha was inside the time machine, wrapped up in a blanket. She must have been crying a lot because she hadn't even noticed that she'd come inside the time machine, or that Rintaro had left. Her dad was next to her. He was also wrapped up in a blanket, looking at her.
Calm down. What time is it?
She wiped away the tears as she asked.
It's almost a new day. Sorry to keep you out this late. It's fine. It's fine. I told you before. You can always count on your dad. Yeah.
Time machine's hatch was still open and cold air was pouring in. The time they spoke, they could see their breath turn white. The machine was still silent. They could use the life support system in the cockpit to keep out the cold, but didn't want to. She rubbed her cheeks with her gloved, covered hand. The gloves Yuki gave her were very warm, and her hands were the one part of her.
You know, I think someday Okarin's gonna work with us. No, he's gonna be our leader.
Suzuha was a little surprised to see Hitaru. Normally, all Hitaru ever did was screw around.
The Future Gadget Lab only exists because of Okarin. He's having a hard time right now, but he'll get over it. And when that happens, Hyoya and Kiyoma will revive, and he'll say, "The Phoenix in my name isn't just for show," you know, stuff that'll make you go, "Nice Junie, bro," or something like that. And when that time comes, Okarin will probably get in the time machine himself without you needing to tell him to. Real shit, though.
Suzuha realized Hitaru was trying to make her feel better. Suddenly, deep in her heart, she felt a little warmer.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Dad, do you realize how embarrassing the things you're saying are? You're right. No way could I could say that in front of Okarin. I'm gonna write a letter to Uncle Okarin before tomorrow. If I try to talk to him directly, I'll end up acting weird again. A lot of heavy lifting there. I'll tell him I'm sorry. And that I'm gonna keep fighting a little longer. So I want him to just think about it. But still, there's really not a lot of time left. Not a lot of time, because Russia started their experiments. You see, the internal battery for the quantum computer that controls the time machine is just about to run out. Seriously? I told you I used the machine a lot starting in 1998 in order to look for Kagari. That wasn't part of the original plan. Of course, that meant I had to use the computer that controls the machine more than I meant to. And that drained the battery. Battery's actually closer to running out than fuel. It'd be hard to make the machine jump the way it's supposed to. But if it's just a battery, can we swap it or recharge it? Obviously not. Can I take a look at it?
Suzuha nodded and pointed to a piece at the core of the machine. Haru leaned his huge body forward to take a look. Soon he gave out a moan of confusion.
What is this thing?
The battery was the same size as a car's, but the product of 2036's technology, and Utaru lived in the year 2010. There's probably no way he could understand.
Battery.
From Utaru's perspective, it might as well have been a black box of unknown technology. A quick look wouldn't tell him anything about how it was built or how it would work. That was one reason why Suzuha had agreed to look at it.
Think you can do anything with 2010's technology. It's basically the same as a disposable battery. You can't charge it and you can't swap it out. Can you replace it with a battery or generator from this time?
Suzuha shook her head helplessly.
My dude, what do you think I would have
Oh, yeah.
I tried that a long time ago, but it didn't work. I asked Pixis Rumi to get me a car battery, one of the big ones they use in trucks. I hooked it up, and it didn't last a second. What did you just say? I tried a gas-powered generator. It didn't work either. Can't even imagine how much gasoline you'd need, and we can't fit that much gas inside the machine anyway. Big Sis Rumi went through a lot of trouble to get me one of the latest fuel cell batteries.
But even that wasn't good enough.
Future tech is amazing. All that power and something this small?
Utaru was staring in amazement at the battery.
Only we could use garbage as fuel, like in that one science fiction movie. They also used plutonium. So,
Yeah.
you know, just a little bit of that. So, how's it going to last? Probably one or two more jumps at most. That's all. And even when the machine's shut down, it's still calculating gravity fields and positional coordinates constantly. Even if we don't jump, the battery will eventually run out. We got another 6 months of battery at most before we lose the ability to do an accurate jump. So that's all the time we have to save Makise Kurisu.
Suzuha had grabbed onto Itaru's back and took a breath. It was squishy. Felt good.
What happens if the battery runs out and we can't control the machine? We'll lose control of the Kerr black hole and be trapped beyond the event horizon for eternity? Don't even say that stuff. It's bad luck. Yeah, sorry. But I wonder what it's like. Wonder if it's calm and quiet like this, if it just stays that way for eternity. Interesting. Maybe that wouldn't be so bad.
As she clung to her father's warm back, Suzuha started sleepy. Let her guard down for a moment. She'd been trained to fight it on the battlefield. This wasn't the battlefield. She was exhausted from. Maybe it wouldn't be self-sleep one. She sat down and softly closed.
See, so Suzuha's leaving before the summer ends, no matter what Okarin decides.
Just before she fell asleep, she thought she heard her father talking to him.
guess he wasn't. And he was talking to, someone else.
Ah, all right.
This is truly paradise.
Maho's eyes were shining like a little girl. Not many girls would look like that if you brought them to a place like this. I was the one who brought her here, but she seemed to have forgotten about me entirely. She was wandering around the narrow corridors where all the computer parts were, as if in a daze. Then she came to stop in front of one of them. Inside the shop were lots of little plastic bins filled with junk parts of all sizes. They'd been taken off of discarded PCs and appliances. Each of them was obviously dirty, and lots of them were covered in dust.
What's this board do, you think? It's got a beautiful pattern, like a piece of art, and it's made out of aluminum.
Oh. Yeah.
What? An IFX 008 image sensor? I can't believe it. This belongs in a museum. What's it doing here?
Yeah?
Akihabara's even more amazing than I'd heard.
Watching the ecstasy on Maho's face creeped me out a little.
This is who Maho Senpai really is.
Kurisu spoke from inside my phone. Maho had said she wanted to go out with Kurisu today, and so I ended up going on a strange date with two girls at once. This might be another test of Amadeus' capabilities. I've been here a few times, but I've only ever seen one other person stare lovingly at computer parts like that. He's a fat otaku's.
I know. You're talking about Hashida-san, right?
Yeah.
I feel kind of bad for Senpai if you're comparing her to him. Yeah. From what you said, he's an incredible pervert.
That's right.
He's really fucked, kind of.
That was rude to Yahoo-san. It was early.
My bad.
It was early afternoon on a Sunday. There was a reason I'd come with Maho to the computer parts shop. Dr. Leskinen and Maho were heading back to America in a few. She was leaving soon, so she wanted me to show her around Akihabara like I'd promised. That's what her message had said. So we met in front of the station in the morning, and I asked her where she wanted to go. This was the result. By the way, our first stop was Yodobashi, and our second, Soft Map. I'd already taken her to a lot of used PC and retro PC shops tucked away in tiny. You like these kind of computer parts, Yahoo-san?
No, I'm faking it, you dingus. It's not the parts, really. I just like building things. I used to make plastic models all the time when I was a kid. There. Did you make crystal radios and stuff? I burnt myself soldering all the time. Me too. No, you didn't.
Yeah, you didn't. Kurisu did, but you didn't.
Yeah, right. You have memories of that. I guess everybody's the same way, huh?
Ha ha.
No.
Ha. Probably not everybody. Actually, I assumed that it was a minority of people who soldered in their homes growing up.
You really should at least open a window. Wow. I could stare at this stuff forever. Why didn't I come sooner, I wonder?
Felt like she was
Couldn't
never.
work up the courage to ask Okarin out
Yeah.
on a date your putts.
It felt like she was never going to leave unless I dragged her out. I finally managed to succeed in getting her away from a parts shop by telling her it was time to eat. We went out to the main road. This area was close to the station, so it was especially crowded. Thanks to the crowds of people waiting to cross the street, you couldn't even walk in a straight line. Now then, where to eat? My first idea was May Queen, but after the way she reacted last time, probably best to avoid it. Still, the Sampo wasn't a good choice for someone new to Akihabara. Gansen, or maybe Kitchenjiro? Go-Go Curry would work too. As I stood there thinking,
Oh.
Maho stopped moving in front of the arcade directly in front of me. Evidently, she was looking at the crane games on the first floor.
Can we take a little look inside?
I nodded. Maho walked up to the crane game and pressed her face against the glass like a kid. Inside the glass were characters from 4chan memes of all different sizes.
Maybe Maho was
Huh.
a secret 4chaner like Kurisu. They were pretty close, so it was possible. I leaned
He's
over
also
to
a huge nerd.
yeah. I leaned over to Maho and
Socially
whispered.
awkward.
I leaned over to Maho and whispered a magic spell into her ear. Oh, Po.
Huh?
I just confused her.
What? What's a no? What?
Nothing. Forget it. Kurisu was glaring cold daggers at me from inside the smartphone, but I decided to ignore it. I think
Right. I'm curious.
an old
I'm
4chan
sure.
term, first
Yeah,
seen on
that-
the programming board in 2003. Null Po is short for null pointer exception, which is an error seen in the Java programming language. When someone announces null Po, the correct response is to smack them on the head and say "Gah." Oh, okay.
Huh. Okay.
Yahoo-san, do you want that
4chan
stuffed
memes.
animal?
Yeah, it's cute, isn't it, Kurisu? Well, senpai? What? Why do you look so flustered? It's nothing, because I can't smack him on the head and say "Gah."
I'm a little surprised, honestly. You just said you like computer parts, so I figured your taste would be more, boyish.
Okabe, you need to learn some tact. Say something romantic like, the gap between my expectations and your reality is really cute. Damn, game, girl. Shit.
For real. Sorry.
Keep that. It's fine, really. Actually, Kurisu had one of these stuffed animals in her bedroom.
Did she now?
You spent a lot of time in Kurisu's bed? What, senpai?
Did she buy it off the internet and have it shipped to America?
Does it really matter?
I guess you can tell she's a secret 4chaner.
What's an it is Anne there. That's funny. I wonder what they actually was it 8? Do they think they mean it? Anyway, because there's an 8chan as well, I believe.
Yeah, and a 2chan.
Never heard of it.
No
Right.
poll.
Gah. Ah.
Even as part of Amadeus, she hadn't changed a bit. Yahoo-san, did Kurisu ever tell you what kind of character this was?
No, I asked several times, but she kept dodging the question.
Haha, yeah, I'm sure.
So I always kind of wondered, assumed it was a porn thing. Do you know Okabe-san?
Well...
Okabe?
A chill ran down my spine as I heard the angry voice from the smartphone. You know what? I don't actually know.
See. Oh, whoops.
Yeesh.
Mushed them together.
I defended your honor, Kurisu. You better be grateful.
That attitude is not going to get you anywhere. Can I give it a try?
Maho took her wallet out of her pocket and put 100 yen coin into them.
Move this arm. Have you what? What? You move this arm back and forth to grab the stuffed animal, right?
Have you never done this before?
Maho senpai only ever plays racing games. That's right.
Racing game, huh?
Huh.
Maho nodded and pushed the control button, managing to move the arm directly over her target. He smiled, satisfied.
Know some people who only play like driving games.
Yeah.
Maniacs. Nerds. I think the only way is like he's not like an actual rocket scientist, but smart. Anyway, it's simple. Now you just wait for the arm to automatically grab it, right?
Oh, well, normally, yeah. The arm went straight for the doll, but the angle was slightly off and it didn't grab.
That doesn't make sense. What just happened?
Not what happens. That's what happens your first time. Maho gave it several more tries, but didn't seem to get the hang of it.
You know what I'm saying? Because hanging the.
She groaned and took her last 300 yen to the back of the arcade. She walked over to a game with a red and white two-tone Formula One car on the side. She slid inside, still angry. I remembered that one was a CG racing game based off of real circuits.
Okabe.
Huh? What is it?
Now's your chance to show your manliness.
Manliness?
Now get that stuffed animal that senpai couldn't, I mean.
Oh. See. And then give it to Maho with manliness aside, after seeing how badly she wanted it, I did want to try and help her. I took some coins out of my pocket and checked how much money I was carrying. Okay. Been a while, but try this. But honestly, I'm not very good at these games either. Even so, I was sure I could do better than Maho. May as well give it a try.
Gotta play the fucking song. Hilarious.
Nope.
That's an interesting way to represent it, too.
Yeah. All right, this is funny.
She's not. Yeah, she's not as interested in it. It's like slightly. Oh, you got it.
Ah! And so, after trying several times, whether it was luck or skill, I managed to get the stuffed animal easier than I expected. Okay.
Nice. His mouth is an A.
Uh-huh. I stuffed it into a bag and went to the racing game Maho was playing. For some reason, there was a crowd of about 10 people around it.
She's good.
Whoa,
who is that girl?
Don't ask me.
Is she in elementary school? I can't believe how good she is.
Think she'll set a new record? The crowd was whispering to
High
one another.
schooler? What does that mean?
All of them seemed to be amazed. I made my way into the crowd and looked at the screen. The game Maho was playing was one of those where you had to clear each stage in a set time or else it would be game over. With each race, the course got more and more difficult. She was placing first every time with ease. The crowd watched in awe. She finally made it to the end of the last stage, well ahead of the other racers, and she set a new record. Had the satisfied smile on her face as she looked at the flashy congratulations graphic on the ending screen. Then she noticed the crowd around her, and her body jerked. Congratulations! You've set the record for our store! An arcade employee walked over to Maho and started to clap. Then the crowd started to clap as well.
Huh?
Maho's face went beet red. I should probably help her.
Nah.
I pushed my way through the crowd and grabbed her hand to pull her up. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
I'd never seen her this obedient before. We made our way to the hustle and bustle and finally got out of the arcade. Maho sighed in relief.
That was careless of me.
What was?
I got mad and I got serious.
Because of this? I handed her the bag with my prize in it.
What?
She opened the bag and took out the stuffed animal.
You got it?
I got lucky. You could have it, though. Present.
Really?
Won't do me any good.
Really? Okay. I'll take it then.
Maho hugged the doll tight to her chest with the innocent smile of a child. Seeing how happy she was made me happy too.
After Kurisu died, her mom showed me a lot of things she left behind. But this was something that Kurisu really loved, Her mom kept it in her own bedroom.
If you didn't know this is from a 4 channel, it's actually pretty cute. See her keeping it.
But after what happened to Kurisu's house, I'm sure it burned up too. Maho. So, can I give this to her mom in America?
Of course. Think she'll like it. Yes.
Thanks.
Okay. What's next? Any other places you wanted to see? Though I guess you wouldn't be interested in anime or game store.
I'm sorry, but can you leave me alone with Akabe-san for a little while? Senpai, you finally decided to be honest with yourself? Akabe, don't screw this up.
Huh?
Good luck, Senpai. Bye. Fucking
Yaho-san?
shithead. There's one more place I want to go.
Yeah? Where is it? Someplace you didn't want Kurisu knowing about?
You can guess where, right?
I know where.
The lab?
Smile was gone.
Oh, the time machine.
Maybe she looked like she'd come to some kind of decision. Then I realized where she wanted to go.
Take me to Radikan.
Wanted me to take her there immediately. Because that is. I'd gone up to the roof several times since the time machine was there, and Suzuha and Daru would go up every once in a while to do maintenance. Just a few days ago, Suzuha had called me out there and pointed a gun in my face. But even so, I'd never been to that storeroom floor where I couldn't bring myself to do it. Just remembering what happened was enough to cause a severe flashback. There was no way I could visit the death.
You okay? You look really pale. Are you thinking about Kurisu?
Yeah.
You don't have to come with me if it's going to be hard for you. I'll go by myself.
Her face was colorless. Going there had to be hard on her too. But even so, she was trying to come to grips with death. I wanted to help. Wanted to help her remember. Radicon renovated. Wasn't a lot of time. I'll go with you. Half of the shops had already been moved to another building to make way for the renovation, but many of the shops on the 7th floor open.
Oopa.
6 months ago, at 28, I killed Kurisu, floor just above where I was standing, with my own hand.
Is this the place?
No, happened on the next floor. That wasn't supposed to have been at the scene of death. I already asked Mayuri and Daru not to tell anyone.
What's upstairs?
An event hall and rooms.
Can we go up there?
It should be off limits right now. But the rope that
Yeah.
always blocked the way to the 8th floor wasn't there today. I could hear loud voices and laughter from the day off. There must have been some event going on.
It looks like it's okay.
Maho headed up the stairs. I slowly dragged myself up the stairs. We passed by the event hall and into the back. Looked like there was no one around. Nothing had changed in. Well, this is it.
There were no lights on, and the place seemed dark. Lonely. This time, the storeroom was locked.
So it was a place like this.
I could see her lips trembling as she whispered. Strange. This was the place where Kurisu died, covered in blood. Yet, nearby, the rest of the world was gone. Like now, I'd come back, even though this was where the one I loved.
Frustrating. I'm not a physicist, so I don't know all there is to know about relativity theory, but if space and time are essentially the same thing, then why can't we move through time as easily as we can move through space? Spatially, we're on the same axis as Kurisu's death, but that tiny little gap on the temporal axis means there's nothing we can do about it. You asked Kurisu, I mean the Amadeus Kurisu, an interesting question before. Whether it was possible to create a time machine.
Yeah.
I'd love it if you could look into it. I'd volunteer for the first man test.
I couldn't tell from the tone of her voice if she was serious or joking. She laughed. Time machines are real, you know. One right above us. What would she do if I told her that? Blame me for giving up? Say she'd go back to the past.
Akabe-san, can you tell me about how Kurisu died? I don't know the details.
I don't really know myself. I do that before.
But you know more than I do, right? I was in America. What was Kurisu doing in a place like this? On the day she died, there was an event going on like the one happening now, right?
We could hear occasional sounds.
Dr. Nakabachi, who made the news last summer. I heard that he sought asylum in Russia and he wrote a paper on time machines. Supposedly, the paper itself was terrible. But that made me remember something. Those guys who set fire to Kurisu's house in America were speaking Russian.
Oh, Maho. Putting it all together.
Mm-hmm. Is that a coincidence, you think? I think the two events are connected somehow. So I decided to look into Dr. Nakabachi. But strangely, there's barely any information on him. If you look online, you won't even find his real name. Most blogs and websites that talked about Dr. Nakabachi are gone now, and all of them disappeared in the last 6 months. Tell me, what the hell was Kurisu caught up in? Is it perhaps still going on? Are you hiding something?
Her eyes were pure. Thought the truth. Risu used to get the exact same look in her eyes all the time. Involved.
Yeah.
I'm done with all.
It's too late. I'm already involved. And I've been wondering if the reason we were attacked before wasn't because of me.
Is there a reason someone would come after you?
I have some of Kurisu's belongings.
Some of Kurisu's belongings. What did she mean? Maho had said that after Kurisu died, she'd gone to her home in America, received some of her belongings from. Was she saying now that the attack was because of that? mind began to Russia. Dr. Nakabachi had sought asylum. The people who attacked Kurisu's home spoke Russian, and just a few days ago, the Russians, probably, had experimented with changing the past. Suzuha had said that World War III would be set off by the time machine. The time machine, Nakabachi's paper he'd written about the time machine, the cause of World War III, a miraculous, nightmarish paper which would cause the deaths of 5.7 billion people. The time machine he discussed at his press conference was a ripoff of John Titor's, but the one in his paper was different. I never managed to read it, though. But my guess was that Kurisu had showed him the original that she'd written on July 28th. His paper was an inferior copy. Kurisu had written down instructions for making a shuddered. Quickly booted up the Rhine program on my smartphone. I paged through my chat logs. That hard drive and laptop contained the data from the original version of Nakabachi's paper, or more accurately, Kurisu's paper. Kurisu's laptop and hard drive, which were given to Daru, was the person who gave them to him. Looked at Maho. He looked back at me without smiling. Nodded.
Yeah, it was me.
From Maho's perspective, there were too many things about Kurisu's death that didn't make sense. Maybe that's why she had decided to look into why Kurisu. Or she'd assumed there were hints hidden inside her laptop and hard drive. But if my hypothesis was right, that laptop was too dangerous to be allowed to exist. It was Pandora's box with the power to unleash World War III. Why didn't you tell me?
At first, I didn't know that you and Hashida-san were friends. It was really just a coincidence that I gave it to him. And it seemed to me like you were hiding something about Kurisu. Obviously. Do you really think I'd tell you everything? It wasn't that I didn't trust you, but I didn't trust you. I thought it would be better to be cautious when it came to Kurisu.
Yeah, we're right about that. Was letting me test Amadeus part of your plot?
Don't call it a plot. You were Kurisu's friend, and I just wanted to know more about you.
Find Kurisu's secrets?
I wanted to know more about her.
Glared right back as if challenging me. Has Daru cracked it yet?
Not yet. That's why I wanted to talk to you before I headed back to America.
Thought she brought me here? I need to call Daru right now. Phone or Ryan, which was better?
Yeah, hello?
You at the lab now?
No.
Then where are you?
At home, fapping the H games. What's up?
I want to talk to you about your part-time job.
You got to appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
Oh, that? You remember any info on Makiseshi?
Yeah. Of course, that was a lie. He could be in danger if I didn't get that laptop back right now. I glanced over at Maho.
Can you send it over Ryan then?
Let's talk in person. Can you meet me at the lab?
I'm all tied up right now. Can it wait till evening?
You can play your H games later, man.
I lied about the H games. I'm actually busy at my job.
Your job?
I believe him.
Well, I was lying to him too, so I really didn't have any room to talk. Okay, where are you really? If you can't leave, I'll come to you. I just need to talk to you right now.
I really didn't want to tell you. I do a lot of dangerous work. Well, whatever. Fine. Come to the address I'm about to give you.
The location you gave me was still in Pandora. It was less than 5 minutes away. Down in the alley, a few turns off the main strip, the hustle and bustle of the. We were on the 7th floor of an old mixed-use building. We were in Akihabara at the
Tokyo in the middle of the day on a Sunday, and still the alleyway we'd come in seemed lonely and abandoned. There, we found the shop Doc told us about. Cosplay Media at Akihabara. We're open. Come on in. There was a cute anime-style sign on the steel door that read Cosplay Media at Akihabara. We're open. Come on in. Who's messaging me right now? I'm out shopping with Luka-kun. Do you want us to come? Do you want to come join us, Okabe-san? Sorry, a bit busy right now. What happened? I'm about to have a bit of a long talk with who? Daru. It's not something we can let a girl hear. I'm a guy, though. I can't let you hear it, Lukaku. You're too kind. It would knock you out cold. Huh. Okran, don't do anything too weird. But if you haven't done anything like that lately, so it kind of feels like the old times. Sorry. No, sorry for bugging you. Talk to you later. Bye. Farewell. The store was jammed full of cosplay outfits. The wall near the entrance held the new arrivals' popular cosplay section, as well as cosplay's wigs, ribbons, jewels, and props. The other wall held the used outfits shoe section, stocked with socks, school shoes, heels, and boots. Even further back, I could see rows of school swimsuits and competition swimming outfits. It looked like the place sold mainly to girls. This clearly wasn't a location where women would feel comfortable. The other tenants in the building were all shady shops with names like Drops of the Spirit God Inc., Space Radio Receiver Sales, and Flower Petal Video Project. You ever been here before?
Last time we met, it was in a different building. It wasn't much better than this one, though.
I felt like I'd seen Daru's dark side. The shop was completely silent. There were no customers other than us. There was a thin man with long hair at the counter who looked like he worked there, but even he didn't raise his head up from a magazine when we came in. To be honest, ever since I'd entered, I'd worried that someone would think I was up to something illegal. Anybody who saw me would think I was a pervert taking a middle school girl to a shady cosplay shop.
Hey, Okarin, over here.
Daru appeared from the back of the shop. There had been no sign of him a second ago.
Wait, Mahotan's with you too, huh? Would you stop calling me Mahotan? Why? It's cute. I feel like I'm being insulted.
Forget that. Where did you come from, Daru? The man at the counter hadn't said it. It meant that he knew he
Come with me.
Daru headed to the back of the store. One of the rows of hanger racks holding idol costumes pulled forward, and behind it, a curtain. Past the curtain was a tiny space that led to a door marked staff only. If that hanger rack hadn't been moved, I would have had no idea that.
It's like an old ninja mansion.
Behind the door was a cramped office. Well, no, the room itself may have been pretty big, but the darkness made it feel very cramped. It was honestly
the smell doesn't help.
right. It was honestly hard to breathe. There were 4 desks in the center, surrounded by metal racks. Desk and floor were piled high with all manners of computer and peripherals. There were boxes and bags littered everywhere. I couldn't tell if they were trash or not. There were towers of magazine, games, plastic models, and figure boxes. The desk was covered in garbage, just like the one at the lab. It was too dark to tell, but I was sure the figures he had on display were covered in dust. And what did he need 6 monitors for anyway? Each of them displayed an image of the store. Evidently, it was footage from a security camera. Given the size of the store and the lack of customers, even 3 cameras would have been too many.
Well, sit down, I guess.
No place to sit down.
I'll make you space.
Daru kicked aside the boxes on the floor to make a room, then set down 2 folding chairs. What's the deal with you in the shop?
Yeah, I'm kind of like the leader of us part-timers. I work for a lot of underground places like this. They call me Tyler Durden. And sometimes they let me use their offices like this.
For your secret job? Maybe there was a lot more to Daru than I thought. All this stuff in here yours?
Nope. It's shared with the rest of the part timers. I don't have enough money to buy all this stuff.
Or so he said, but who knew if that was true? Oh, this is where I save. So, at this point in time, we have the option of continuing on to the true end or seeing the bad end. But I think I'm going to go with the true. So on January 23rd, do not answer.
Okay.
It's from Kurisu. Maho looked troubled. I didn't want Kurisu either. I didn't know what to do. And then I remembered the world line where I spent a month during wartime. I remembered that the Amadeus Kurisu was being used by the U.S. military there. I still didn't know what that meant. I stared at my phone screen. Should I answer it or should I talk to Dawn?
I was really surprised to see you two knew each other, though. I wasn't sure what to say when I saw you together at May Queen. Well, I figured out quick, though. You both knew Mikise Kurisushi. But my Hotan, you said you weren't going to tell Okarin about this. Did you change your mind? It'd be more accurate to say he figured it out for himself. Oh, I see.
Daru nodded and grabbed some snacks off the table to gobble down. I put the smartphone in my pocket. For now, I needed to focus on talking to Daru.
So, what did you want to talk about?
You know what I wanted to talk about. Here at Yahoo-san. Show me the laptop and hard drive that Kurisu left behind.
Did you figure out the password?
I have no idea.
What do you mean?
I'm trying to tell you one simple thing. Stop trying to analyze that laptop right now. There may be something lurking within it so terrible that it will plunge the entire world into chaos. Starting to sound. Hey, are you listening?
Big tuna BO, bro. So you're one of those.
No, I'm being serious, guys. This is not about Yoyan Koma.
Epic. And say it with me now. Chunibyo, bro.
I'm not a Chunibyo. I slammed my hand down on the table. The shock was enough to cause one of the empty cans on the table to fall to the floor. Listen to me, okay? This involves Suzuha.
Suzuha?
You know what Suzuha's job is, right?
No. Deets, please.
Nakabachi's paper. That was enough for Daru to understand.
Seriously?
I've been serious the whole time.
No, I mean, I see, but you can't mean you were serious the whole time. That's ridiculous. Well, I'd more or less assumed that was the case.
Daru didn't say another word. He opened a locked fire-resistant case sitting on one of the racks. There was a laptop and a hard drive hidden within. That's it? The laptop was a deep red Japanese model with a 12-inch LCD screen. The hard drive was American, from a brand known for equipping its drives with a shock-resistant rubber case. The laptop and hard drive that created. Just to double check, you weren't able to break the security, right?
Well, you know how it is. No hacker can get through my software.
Don't do anything else with it.
It's been paid already, though. Or I've been paid already, though.
He looked apologetically towards Maho. He was glaring at
I asked this before, but what exactly are you hiding when it comes to Kurisu?
Look, trying to learn the truth isn't always the answer.
That's just what you think. You won't even give me the information I need to make that choice.
It's dangerous. You know you were just attacked, right?
don't want to be a coward who just hides behind her knight in shining armor. I'm a scientist. I don't want to give up on trying to reach the truth, no matter how dangerous that may be.
You just don't understand.
If Kurisu was here, she'd probably say the same thing, wouldn't she?
I was startled. Maho was right. I remembered having the same conversation. It was when we were looking in the CERN.
You're gonna have to tell her, man.
Daru!
Wow, Tan doesn't look like anything you say is gonna convince her. Yeah, it's not. And it's probably more dangerous to be involved and not know what the deal is, right? Only if what you're saying is true, though.
Daru had a point. At this rate, Maho could very well get herself into deep trouble without realizing what she'd done. Just the fact that she was carrying Carisu's belongings made her a part of World War III, but she had no idea. That computer wasn't just something to remember an old friend by anymore. It was at the center of an international power struggle. Russian-speaking arsonists had forced their way into Carisu's home in America. Afterward, mysterious men claiming to be in the FBI had searched Dr. Leskinen's lab. This whole thing was on the verge of exploding, and people like me were nothing in the face of a war between nations. It'll mean telling her about Suzuha. Are you okay with that, Daru?
We don't have a choice, do we?
Turned back towards Maho.
Hmm.
Yahu-san, can you promise me one thing? You're a scientist, and I believe, a very logical person. Don't let your emotions lead you into doing something stupid. Don't do anything rash. Don't be like how I once was. What I'm about to tell you is hard to believe. You may think it's impossible, but it's true, so
Get to the point. What's it you want me to promise?
just don't get ideas about saving Makisu.
Huh? What?
Mouth hung open, like she didn't understand what she just heard.
Save Kurisu?
If you
Save the world.
if you can't promise that, I won't tell you anything. So what will it be?
Fuck that noise. Obviously. Why would you? Come on. Logical person or not. Here. Does that mean it's possible that I could save her?
You may think so, but I'm telling you right now that it isn't.
What did I just say? I can't give you any answer until I've been given the information I need to decide. Tell me everything.
I took a deep breath, began to tell her the story.
No promises.
I told her about the time machine, about Suzuha, about World War III, and about the relationship between Kurisu and Dr. Nakabachi, and that what was supposedly Dr. Nakabachi's theory was actually based off of Kurisu's writings.
Yeah.
I told her that the original copy of Kurisu's work might be hidden on her laptop hard drive, and I told her that Russia and America might be fighting over it. As for how Kurisu died, I decided to skip that.
Fair dues.
Got to address it at Taro.
Maybe.
Maho was
Or
silent
maybe not.
the whole time I spoke, with a confused expression on her face. She looked like a girl who had just graduated to middle school, who was staring at a string of equations on a blackboard that were like nothing she'd ever seen before. Her expression didn't change even finished.
Is this true? It's not made up.
Maho was asking Daru.
Yeah.
Can't bring yourself to believe it.
That's not it. It's just so different from what I was expecting that I'm having a hard time processing it. I thought it might be about using Amadeus for military purposes. I mean, Kurisu spent a lot of time at the psychophysiology lab. She said sometimes she'd be visited by people who looked like they didn't belong there at all. She said they thought. She said she thought they were from the Department of Defense.
Russia, the FBI, and now the United States
Yeah.
Department of Defense. This is getting even more suspicious. Can Amadeus kill someone? How?
Yeah. Well, for example, you could take the memories of a veteran pilot, copy them, and use them to control drones. God damn. And remember what I said about medical applications?
I mean, copying memory data back onto the brain.
Yeah, it's like the Matrix. If you could alter memory data and then send it back to the brain, you could make soldiers who don't feel fear, or who could carry out any kind of unethical missions without hesitation. Wow, sounds like a Hollywood movie.
This mean reality had finally caught up to books and movies?
Or the other way around. My thought was that Kurisu had found proof they were running experiments like that.
And that's why they went after her.
Yeah.
Maho picked up. The red body was evidently made out of some magnesium alloy, a lot lighter.
Never expected a time machine, though.
Either way, we should destroy it immediately.
Without looking to see what's inside? We don't know for sure that it's got what you're talking about.
It doesn't matter what's inside of it. As long as it still exists, it could start a war. Still didn't seem satisfied.
But it's proof that Kurisu was alive once. It's what she left to us. We can't just get rid of it.
You learn what's inside of it, they might come after you next.
That's true, but
This wasn't working. Maybe I needed. Surely you asked Kurisu about the password, right? Amadeus?
of course, that was the first thing I tried.
But it didn't work, right? That's strange, right? Normally she'd know.
Unless.
But the Amadeus Kurisu didn't know what it was. There's only one possibility then. Kurisu herself changed the password without Amadeus knowing. Why do you think she did that? Isn't it because she didn't want anyone knowing what it was? Let's not dig up the graves of the dead, okay?
Dig up her grave? It's not like that. I'm sorry. You're right. Maybe I'm getting too obsessed with Kurisu.
I know you really cared about her, but you shouldn't get involved with this. This might not be Pandora's box. It might be the gate to hell.
Yeah, nice Chinibio, bro.
Would you stop, Daru?
Would you?
Maho hugged the laptop tight to her chest and sighed.
All right, Okabe-san. I understand what's going on. I still haven't finished getting it all straight in my head, though. I'll get rid of this laptop. Lied.
Thanks. I was so glad she understood. You really are amazing.
How do you figure that?
A normal person would just refuse to accept all this, or even if they didn't, they'd ask a ton of questions.
You're giving me too much credit. Usually, I wouldn't even bother refuting this. I wouldn't even listen. Normally, a scientist should never deny any possibility, no matter how improbable. But we have a tendency to put too much faith in common sense and our own theories.
Then why is it different this?
Because Makise Kurisu is involved.
Maho's smile was bitter.
Time travel theory, a time leap machine? You're joking. That's impossible. But it wouldn't be impossible for Kurisu. She's always been the one who proved that everything I thought I knew was wrong.
That's right. Amadeus login ID. Harry. I almost said that, but stopped myself. It seemed to me like that ID held some kind of gloomy meaning to her.
Yeah. So what about my pay? I've actually already used all the money Mahotan gave me to reserve this month's H games. Wow.
You're terrible, Daru.
That's what I do this job for. It's fine. I won't ask for my money back. I didn't expect much when I asked you anyway. Just so we're clear, another 3 days and I'd have cracked that password. Honest. Really? Sure, whatever.
Maho smiled and turned back to me.
By the way, I want to see proof of this.
Proof?
You've got it somewhere, right? This time machine? And I want to talk to Suzuha-san too.
Well, I don't know about that. Daru had agreed to it, but still, I told Maho about the time machine without asking Suzuha. We'd just gotten into a fight, and I really didn't want to bring this up with her. But
that's a really polite way of saying she just threatened to murder you.
But even showing Maho the time machine would mean I'd need to get Suzuha's permission. That made it difficult. Daru, why don't you talk to Suzuha for me instead? Before I could finish my sentence, the intercom on the desk beeped.
Uh-oh. What is it? I'm busy now.
The tone was the same as ever, but I didn't miss the sudden flash of tension across Daru's face.
If there wasn't a reason.
Got a bad feeling about this.
Hello? Is something wrong?
Daru flipped to several channels on the security monitor. Talk on the phone. All 6 monitors had been displaying the interior of the store, but now they showed the entrance of the building, the emergency exit, the corridors, the elevator hall, and the emergency stairs. So he had cameras not just inside the building, but outside it too? But this was no time to be impressed. You could tell this is like a real photo they just animated.
Yeah, it does look like that. You're definitely right.
The images were covered in white, snowy static, but I could see strange figures on the screen. Who are these guys? Building. The first floor elevator hall, the 7th floor elevator hall, the 7th floor emergency stairs, and in front of the cosplay shop. There'd been nothing there a moment ago, but now there were 4 men standing in each of those 5 places.
Oh damn.
They were silent and did not speak to one. There were around 20 of them in all. Some were wearing suits, others typical Akihabara fashions, yet others were wearing military camo. Individually, none of them would really stand out in Akihabara. But the fact that so many people had come to this lonely building at one time seemed terrifying.
Okie dokie, I'm abandoning this location. You bail out when you get the chance to. See ya.
Evidently, he'd been talking to the man at the front counter. He put down the intercom and looked at us.
So yeah, we're getting out of here. What?
Daru pulled out a backpack and began tossing hard drives, memory cards, and other pieces of equipment into it.
Way too ready for this. I'll take that laptop too, please.
Maho stood there blinking as she handed him Kurisu's laptop and hard drive. Hey, who are those people?
Are they after Kurisu's PC? Couldn't say. I caused a lot of trouble. This has happened before. Well, that's why I keep this job a secret.
Seriously? Daru took the laptop and hard drive from Maho, threw them into the backpack, and slid it onto his back. How are we getting out of here anyway? They're standing right outside the door.
It's a shame, because I like this place. Finally time to say goodbye, huh?
Despite his tone, his expression was still serious. He walked to the corner of the room. There was a life-size poster of a golden-haired Vocalo stuck to the wall.
Excuse me, Rentan.
Daru carefully took the poster off the wall, making sure not to damage it. There was a glass door hidden behind it, which led out to a concrete veranda.
This way.
Wait, that was how he was going to escape? But this was the 7th floor, right? There wasn't time to worry about it. Daru went out to the veranda without bothering to wait for us. I pushed Maho forward and urged her to go ahead of me. The veranda was filled with junk, just like the inside. The floor was covered with old PCs and monitors, as well as old arcade games that were clearly broken. There was barely any place to stand. But that meant as long as you ducked down a little, there was probably no way you could be seen from the outside. Maybe he set this up deliberately so he could use it in case of an emergency. From there, we escaped like we were in a spy movie. We removed the board to open the way between this veranda and the next one, moved down to the room at the edge of the building, and then used the emergency ladder to get to the 2nd floor. It was an empty space that Daru rented with some of his acquaintances, and we were able to use the bathroom to escape to an unused floor room in the next building. My blood ran cold when Daru got a call that the men in the front of the cosplay shop were in. From there, we planned to escape from the next building's emergency exit. The emergency exit there led out to a different alleyway than the one we'd originally come in, so in theory, they shouldn't have been able to find us. But the narrow alleyway between the buildings was dark, and they were waiting for us there, as if they'd known exactly.
As if.
We were caught off guard, and before we could run, one of them grabbed Maho, and then there was no way for us to resist. They grabbed Daru and me, twisted our arms behind our backs, and slammed us to the ground. But it wasn't the group who attacked us in the building. They were all wearing full face masks, motorcycle suits, leather jackets. One of them, the girl holding down Maho, was clearly a woman. The girl was clearly a woman. There was only one woman I knew who attacked us while dressed like that.
Do what we tell you. Or, well, I guess it might be Moeka. We know that she did that from before.
I was right. I knew that voice. I could tell even with her helmet hiding her face. Eyes. Dead. She held Maho at her left arm and took out a military knife at her right. She put the knife up to Maho's throat. Don't do it! The horrible memories came flooding back to me. Whether it had happened in a different world line or not, the merciless voice that had taken Mayuri from me was right here. Mayuri is... I gritted my teeth so hard it hurt and glared at the woman in the motorcycle suit. I'll give you what you want, so don't do it. I forced myself to speak, and the woman in the motorcycle suit took the knife away from Maho's neck. She handed her over to one of the other men. Then she took off her helmet.
Yeah.
So it was you. Her eyes were completely devoid of emotion, just like they were in August. I was forced off the ground by one of the others. My arm was still twisted upward. I tried as hard as I could not to scream from the pain. First, let go of my hand. I can't even talk like this. Moeka slightly nodded to the other men. The hand that was holding me drew. I could finally move it. Daru was released too, and he stood up, mumbling something. But Maho was still in there. Ouch, Dr. Yahoo. Daru, give me your backpack.
Oh, right.
Daru was about to take off his backpack.
Don't do it. Don't give it to her.
Yahoo-san, stay quiet. She will kill you. It's not just a threat.
But
Would Kurisu be happy if you died over her paper? Maho looked like a spot on the verge. Still glaring at Moeka, I took the laptop and hard drive out of the backpack. This is it. Hand me the backpack too. Let Yahoo-san go first. He didn't respond. Fine, then. I'd have to bluff. If you want the password to decrypt it, don't think about cheating us. Put the 2 items back in the backpack and handed it over to her. It was all I could do to keep my voice from quaking. Nobody can boot this thing up without the right password. Hackers all over the world have tried and failed. I'll tell you once our safety is guaranteed. I don't want to get killed at the moment we hand it over. Of course, I had no clue what the password was. If they found that out, we were doomed.
Daru was giving me glances. I ignored it. Keep your damn mouth shut, Daru. You're right. Right, she fell for it. That meant. Then one of you is coming with me. Huh? We'll let 2 of you go immediately. Password is correct. We'll let the other one go as well. Not good enough. No, we can't be sure the one who stays will be safe. Then all 3 of you will come with us. This woman! I feel cold sweat on my back. I'd never been involved in a life or death deal before, and I had no idea what to do next. Ashido Ataru, come this way.
What? Me?
We were told you're a specialist. Bring the backpack over here.
No.
You come, we'll leave the other 2 here. Wait, then I'll go. That's fine, right? My superiors told me nothing about you. I can't even say if you really know the password. Damn, all right through. Moeka put the knife back to Maho's neck.
I'd
Ashida Itaru, come, quickly.
rather hear that line said in a more erotic situation.
Daru was joking, but his whole body was shaking. I do. They were going to kill Daru. I thought as fast as hard as I could, but nothing came to me. This world line, Daru was going to live until 2036 and complete the time machine. That much was clear from Souza's testimony. The world lines were going to converge. Even if Moeka took Daru here, he wouldn't be killed, right? No, but that didn't mean I couldn't leave him here. One of the men with Moeka was looking at his watch. I noticed it too. They might have felt like they were taking too much time with the kidnapping done in broad daylight. I hoped that somebody might wander by, but there was no counting on that stroke. I needed to solve this myself instead of relying on others. Do I need to kill someone first? I felt a cold knife pressed hard against my carotid artery.
Okaran.
Daru and Maho were screaming, but suddenly it all seemed real, like it was taking place. They say that's what happens whenever someone is confronted with death. It's happening to me. I can't die either. I tried asking Suzuha. He wasn't here. I tried asking the. Of course, nobody answered. The fact that I might not die didn't mean I could do something stupid here. A normal college kid like me would be too scared to move once they had a knife to their neck. I'd seen people die many times and almost been killed, but never did get used to it. The thoughts of Kurisu's blood came back into my mind, and I flashback. My body shook, and it was like a dude. Was there nothing else?
How much longer do we have in this, do you think?
We can actually call it here if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
If it's not like almost done.
Yeah. I was
past.
Yeah, I was trying to hurry it along myself. This is a good spot. We'll call it here. All right, cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, we'll if things go the way I think it's going to go, we should finish this on Monday.
It feels like we're getting close, but I wasn't. Yeah, I was like, I don't know what we're at.
Yeah.
If it's coming up nearby, then it's worth it. But yeah.
But so yeah, we'll get back to this on Monday. I actually have to work in the morning anyway, so I was trying to get out of here. But if you want to see this come to its conclusion, you know where we're at. We're always right here every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. We're gonna see this through to the end. We're getting very close to there. And if you want to get notified when that happens, you can subscribe to the channel or Discord link down below. Away. But yeah, we just want you to hang out. Until Monday, then.